Caleb Hammer is someone that a lot of you have been requesting that I talk about, especially at the time he was most popular, or like during this scandal. So I just didn't have time. I didn't get around to it for whatever reason. I figured that we could go over it on this channel or on live and hopefully get a better grasp of it. I'll do it with you guys. If I have any questions about the history or anything, you man can help me out. I've got a big document here that like sort of details who he is, the start of the drama, all the way up till now. So I'm pretty excited for this one. I reckon we give it a quick gander. I guess we should start by looking at his YouTube channel, because it's genuinely not one that I've ever visited before. 3.1 mil. Okay, good enough. Good shit, mate. He's got a good thing going here. 3.1 mil. That's big numbers. All right, what are these? A lot of members only videos, most insane finance. All right, he's a finance guy. I exposed him having an AI girlfriend. Okay, a lot of members only stuff. He's very weird and mean for no reason. Okay. Is there anything that's not members only? $160,000 of weed debt financial audit. So
I got 122.
All right, I think I have seen these actually. So this bloke has people who are in very shit positions on his podcast, I guess, and just lectures them about life and tells them how bad they're doing and like how to improve, I guess. Is that kind of the gist a little bit? That's what it looks like from the clips that I have seen. But I guess we'll find out soon. He's got a website as well, which we should have a look at. We have a look at this. Maybe I'll do a different stream. I'll actually buy his course and we can do a stream on it maybe, if this one goes okay. Oh, you can choose to be on the show. Dollar-wise is like, I don't know what any of these things are. You can get a... Oh, okay. Let's take this 2-minute quiz. Get a custom roadmap to unfuck your finances. That sounds quite nice. Fucking hell, he does look quite cool there, to be fair. Okay. Talks about his sub growth. You got the bunch of stuff here that he's like, who is this guy? All right, this is good. Deep in debt, maxing out credit cards on fast food delivery and wondering why his bank account hated him. He then got obsessed with learning how money actually works and made it his mission to drag as many people as possible out of their own financial dumpster fires. All right, that's nice. Let's take this quiz, eh? Do you know how much you've spent in the last month? Yes, I do. I track all my money. Do you have a system for tracking your income versus expenses? Yes. I don't have a spreadsheet. I'll go, yeah, I'll check my bank account regularly. So what am I going to be, didn't he molest SA people? I don't know about that, Charlotte, but I guess we'll figure it out. I've genuinely not done much research here. But I've got a document here from my researcher, so if there's anything like that, I'm sure it'll be here. If the entire point is to help people out of financial dumpster fires, why in the world would you pay for it? It's a good point, but I guess the appeal is that, like, it's an investment, I guess. You need to spend money to make money. Do you categorize your spending? Yes. How often do you review your budget? Weekly or bi-weekly? Yes. Have you cut any non-necessary subscriptions? Yes, absolutely. Fucking hell. Such a big eater of income, that one. Do you know your total debt balance? I don't have any debt. Good. Well, yeah, no, I don't. Are you paying more than minimum on your debts? Thankfully, I don't have debt. Do you understand how interest rates affect your payoff timeline? Yes. Have you refinanced, consolidated, or negotiated any debt in the last year? Yes. Student debt. Do you contribute a retirement account? Absolutely. Do you know the difference between both a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? Okay, this is American for like ISAs, I think. So I'm going to go yes, because I'm not an American, but I've got the UK version. Have you started investing outside of retirement accounts? Yes. Do you understand asset allocation and risk tolerance? Yes. Do you know how much? Yes, absolutely. I'm looking for a house. Have you explored house tracking? Yes. Do you understand the difference between fixed rates and adjustable rate mortgages? Yep. Do you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved? Yes. Do you have a plan if you lost your job tomorrow? Yes. Do you have adequate health? Right, come on now. Let's just review the financial plan. Yes, I have. Okay, here we go. You're one step away from your personalized financial roadmap. So I feel as though either way, no matter what happened, you're getting this financial fucking roadmap. Because I feel like I answered pretty high on every question there. So it doesn't matter. Like, no matter what you answer, you always get the same response. Like, this is bollocks already. It's like, surely, I feel as though it would make way more sense if you got to a point where it was like, yeah, I'm good. And then it went, you know what, mate? Maybe I don't need this course exactly. But if everyone needs the course, then what the fuck's in this what is in this course that could be so insightful that everyone needs it?
I mean, I'm sorry,
But with what you have done and you're bringing children into that picture, that should not be the statement. One person objectively should be doing this DoorDash all day, if that's one of the options, which I wouldn't be beating this car into the ground. The other person needs to be putting fries in and you guys are acting like losers not doing that. And I know I'm being mean, but you need to know that is the reality. You guys are acting like losers. You have kids and you're saying you're waiting on your tax refund. That's going to be like a month or two away. A month maybe. A month? So we don't bring in any income for a month?
The captions are annoying. Yeah, I agree. Before I was a YouTuber and I was like doing editing work and stuff and freelance stuff, I used to do these captions. Like, that was my thing. I used to make captions on that for Snapchat videos and stuff. That's what I did. That was me. So I know how this shit's done.
How do you pay the rent? How do you pay for food on the table? You probably get food stamps, don't you?
I do.
Of course you do. So you guys, so be very clear. We have yet another example in this show, of a couple who is literally just choosing not to work, choosing not to get a job, yet we are providing food stamps. I want us to provide food stamps to those who need it, to those to take care of kids, to those that are falling on hard times and are not doing it. You and your boyfriend, I understand your situation right now, but he is actively choosing, the baby daddy of your child, to not get a job.
I mean, how is he going to get to the job?
Oh, I'll tell you how. Apparently he has a car. It's just not cost effective to drive it for DoorDash. That's how.
Well,
wow. You
can't exactly.
You walked right into that. What a disgusting.
The truck is, if it was working, then I would mention it. It's broken down. We have.
What? No, you just said it's just not cost effective. And you guys are looking to buy another car and you disagree about it with what?
And it literally.
Okay, I think I understand the gist now. So, in my mind, there's a website where these families or people in struggling financial situations can apply to join the podcast. I looked at the channel. He uploads like every day, doesn't he? Let me have a look at this again. So does he just say yes to like everyone that comes on? Is there not a chance that people have come on just to take the piss? I feel like a lot of people will have come on just to take the piss. I recommend watching the vid with the goth women in the thumbnail. Okay, let's give that a look. Maybe we should just watch that one instead of having a look at these clips. Because I feel like the clips are fine, but without context, it's actually pretty difficult to determine how much I side with this bloke or how much I despise him. Because I wouldn't know right now. I've not really got any strong moral quandaries or opinions on him as of yet, other than that the course seems like a bit of a red flag. The one with the goth woman in the thumbnail. Okay. Well, what do you consider goth, Charlotte? Like, this lady has dyed hair, maybe it looks, but that's not really goth, is it? The full episodes are hard to get through, not gonna lie. All right, well, we can sort of skim through it. But how long is a full episode? Jesus, there's like 2 fucking hours. Oh my god, he does it. How? Bro, he makes so much money doing this, to be fair. These are getting millions of. Oh my god, I didn't realize how huge this guy was. This guy's fucking massive. This is insane. The subscriber count, he's doing a lot better than his subscriber count will tell you. He posts so much. Yeah, this is fucking unreal. I guess good for him. He's making a lot of money just by shouting at people, I guess. I think it's probably more effective to look up Caleb Hammer Goth Girl. All right, I guess let's do that. Caleb Hammer Goth Girl. I've got Goth Gold Digger exploits beta husband. Is that the one you're talking about, Charlotte? Oh, you sent me the link.
I mean, I do.
No, there's this one as well. I've never hated a more vile piece of trash. This one was 2 months ago. It's more recent than the other one. Fucking hell, that's a crazy title. But let's see how much of a vile piece of trash they are. I do have these clips though. Let me see if there's anything in these clips that like immediately jumps out to me first.
What cost?
So this one, I just don't know the context enough. This one is
Tesla.
Oh. Your opinion doesn't matter then.
More American built than your car. Bitch.
Isn't Elon an immigrant?
South Africa.
Huh? Well, he is an American citizen, first of all, to be clear. His grandparents are from the United States, also to be clear. Don't make me like I'm not trying to stroke a dick of a man, but I will say it is fully built in America with American shit.
That's
Even
true.
the car parts that they assemble in America, usually for like Ford and whatnot, are made overseas and then brought here.
Okay, so I'm hearing some like subtle MAGA stuff. I'm hearing some like subtle homophobia. A little bit. Maybe I'm being too woke and overanalyzing here, but I'm getting that vibe a little bit.
Smoke shop, bullshit. Dunkin', tobacco vape, bullshit. Cash App, Spotify, Dairy Queen, bullshit.
Just looking at their like financial background, I get to look what they're wasting money on, I suppose. Danky Tyler the Catastrophe just posted. Bro, look at my channel. I uploaded like 5 hours ago on that. Okay, this is like, what is even this shot here? I'm just looking at a background. I'm going to skip that one. Caleb goes off on the guest. All right, this is a quite popular clip. Let's watch this one.
A permanent roof is preventing you from getting an
I do have a permanent
Shut
roof.
the f- You know what I'm talking about.
I know that you think you know what you're talking about.
If you would have let me make my point, you would have understood the importance. Because you don't have the permanent roof,
It is permanent.
because of that, you're having a hard time getting an in-person job because that's what they consider to be a permanent roof. You get it? Cool.
A permanent location and a permanent roof.
Yeah, I feel as though he's not actually mad. Like, this is all acting. Like, he has all these people in his fucking podcast studio every day. This is his job. Like, these people are making him millions. So he loves them, if anything. Did Caleb Hammer go too far? Bully's guest over her weight. Okay.
feel like you are more into like people who like natural beauty, and like
Yes, I like when people are attractive.
it's also a matter of opinion.
Well, you said natural beauty.
Natural beauty, like
Oh, but
that don't wear makeup. I wear makeup. But when I was younger, I was super skinny, and then like I gained a lot of weight. So like
What is this Creed fucking like boxing music in the background of this? It's just a woman and a man talking about some dumb shit.
I wear makeup.
Makeup doesn't cover that. Gym changes that.
But that's fine. Whatever.
What? Makeup doesn't make you skinnier.
I didn't say it made me skinnier.
He doesn't think she has natural beauty. He's really hard on her.
Sorry, I thought this was a financial show. Why are we talking about weight and like going to the gym? What is this?
We all have our own types. So what are we fighting about? Losing weight?
I need a minute.
For what? What happened? Well, maybe you can answer. What?
So once a
You
year.
have a lot of makeup on right now.
I mean, I feel like
Okay, that was ridiculous. Why would this ever come up during a fucking episode of this? But anyway, I guess let's have a wee scroll through this one. We're not watching the whole thing. We just can't. What do the comments say? Some women don't want marriage, they want a wedding. At least the kid will have this video to show their therapist. Abandoning a child for 4 years, she thinks her kid is an accessory. This is insane. Okay. Is this the one that you guys were talking about, by the way? Charlotte. Is this the one you were saying we should watch? Okay. Let's check the description and see if any of these chapters stand out to us. What an interesting start. Intro. She doesn't go to work like that, thankfully. I guess let's go here.
I mean, you know what's funny? The shade
No.
name is Clown White. So we love that. I mean, if you look at the alt community, it's hard to find a good alternative community like
There's an
Gothic.
alternative community.
Are you
A community
dense?
that is
You don't-
just alternative. Well, isn't like
Alternative?
everyone alternative?
I mean, I guess you could argue
Alternative
that.
to what?
Alternative
To not wearing face paint?
No, alternative to like just, I guess, have like that natural clean look. Like, you know, somebody who has like, I don't know if you've ever seen online, like sometimes they'll have like different skin bases, like, you know, purple, pink, you know, just having fun, white. It's
No,
a blank
oddly
canvas.
enough,
You can
I have
do
not
all
seen that actually
All right,
personally.
We're on the other side of the internet, clearly. so-
One, man. Two, even if I were a woman, I don't think I'm going purple face.
Okay.
It's real close
That's
to
your
another
preference.
colored face that we also would rather not do.
Yeah, I don't know about
You
that.
went the opposite. Wait, what are you? You are white. Okay.
I am
did-
white.
did-
I'm
couldn't-
Hispanic, but
Usually I couldn't tell by looking at your
No,
face.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't.
Oh, sorry guys, I want to get into this, but I just have to ask: is there like Christmas gift bag stuffing in your tits right now? Like they're lumpy.
This is my tits, Caleb. I'm sorry.
You got lumpy
Like,
tits?
I have.
Have you gone to
I
the
mean,
doctor?
Okay. This is pissing me off now because I'm like, this is a financial show. This is people who are struggling with their finances are meant to go on here and like it's meant to give advice or something. So why are we talking about whether her tits are real? Why are we talking about the face paint? Why are we talking about alternative media? Just fucking get into it. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And why does he have to be an arsehole about it? I don't give a fuck about. I don't care about her tits. I'm trying to watch it's a financial show. It's just, I guess, it's maybe playing up to the audience who absolutely will love that. I guess.
Not yet, but you know,
I recommend Mental and Tit Doctor.
we're working on
start
both
there.
of them. They're in the works.
Move a little faster, please.
Yes, I mean
To the
given
mental one
finances,
specifically.
I mean,
So
trust,
you
it
work
will
at a
happen.
funeral. You're a funeral director.
Thank you very much for the membership, Kitty.
Yes, I'm a funeral director.
What do you look like normally? Can we have a picture?
Not like this. Well, I don't want to like show it because I mean, I'm
This is
intensive-
helping to protect your
Yes,
anonymity.
Yes, absolutely. So I am alternative, right? Like I do
Alternative to
girl-
something.
yeah, alternative to like having a clean girl makeup kind of look, like the opposite of that, basically. Like I'll do an intense like under eye, fake eyelashes, you know, crazy lip color. But
Hey, we got all that. Okay,
Yeah,
what do you
we
what do
got
you
it.
do? What do you make? What do you make?
what do I make? I
What do you
mean,
make at this
so I
job?
make 1,700 gross a month. So it's 88
No, 1,700 gross.
a month.
A month.
A month. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, a week.
Sorry, that
girl.
is very different. And what hits per paycheck? What is your paycheck?
So it's
Like, period.
12.
Thank you very much for the membership, Tidiatete.
Well, for the whole period, I can give you the weekly. The
Oh my
weekly.
gosh, the first time that Colton like called you and talked to you, were like just playing with a dead body. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I was at the airport. I was working.
Thank you very much for the membership, Stella. Jesus, you guys are amazing.
You know,
Someone
listen,
died at the airport.
people need to be picked up just like regular people. You know, like we had body die in another state. I have to go pick them up, bring them back to the facility. Like pretty standard.
Okay, so what hits per pay period, and what is that pay period?
So I get paid once a week.
Once a week. Good. What hits your account?
It's 12.66 and
That
10
per-
cents.
12.66 is that, and 10 cents.
And 10 cents.
Is that per dead body or?
That is salary, and I do get
Good,
overtime.
you're
too.
salaried. You're 60, basically 66 net.
Net, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
But I mean, New Jersey, are you close?
I used to watch Caleb Hammer, and he used to be so much kinder and closer to actually being helpful with finances, but then people like the more dramatic episodes and he amped it up. Yeah, that sounds pretty realistic. Thank you very much for the membership, Eye Patch and Yeet Serenity.
To the New York City?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay,
Northern
so this is
Jersey.
going to be. So
It's
it's gonna,
doable. I mean, and it's
yeah, but it's going to be
household.
potentially a little tight. Two income. Oh, you're right. You did say
I'm
husband before we started.
Engaged, not
okay,
husband, not
fiance.
yet. Mhm,
And
fiance.
he is he alternative or alternative?
Oh, it's kind of like that situation where it's like golf girlfriend, golden retriever boyfriend kind of situation, if you know what I mean.
This isn't what I think when I think goth.
If you want
Jesus, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships, Stella. Fuck me. Fair one. Thank you so much.
to be one of the nonconformists, all you have to do is dress just like us and listen to the same music we do.
Well,
This is what I
add
think
a
when I
little
think.
whimsy to the subgenre. I mean, there's like scene kids.
Is goth is
Gloth?
goth whimsical?
Can it not be?
I
Can
feel
we
like
all have a little whimsy?
when I think
Yeah, this guy knows what alternative is. I don't know why he's acting so dumb. He's like, oh my god, are those tits, like, what's going on with your, like, tits over there? I've never seen a woman wear makeup before. This is crazy. What's happening right now? Brother, shut the fuck up and just talk about money.
of someone being goth, especially the depressed little people in high school that were goth, they were
This video is titled, I've never hated a more vile piece of trash. What is wrong with this? What has she done yet? We're going to skip ahead. We are going to
It's
skip.
not full
And-
clown. Like if I were to be full
it's
clown,
very close to full clown.
it's close, but it's not full clown.
Literally the red nose. That's it.
The red nose, and I think you need to add like the little.
Basically got it with your stuffed tits, dude. It's basically
These
the
are
same
my
thing.
tits, Caleb. Patreon later. Come on now. Like boom.
Patreon? You have a
YouTube.
titty to Patreon?
No, I'm saying Patreon exclusive. I mean,
Money talk doesn't start till 30 to 45 minutes in. So what the point? Then what's the point of this then? What's going on then? I work at T-Mobile. He pushes helium so hard that I actually got a commission sale 3 hours ago from him bashing T-Mobile. This is too close right now. All right, let's skip them. They call the husband.
Make the kid.
So they can accept spicier food when they get back?
Yeah, that's one way to put it, but it's
listen, he's more connected to his culture over there.
to make the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we should have dropped the nuke. My goodness. Yikes. This is very weird.
And
Okay.
he actually was the one that brought it up. So, you know, the idea of doing that. And I thought like, wow, this is awesome. So yeah. Anyways,
We'll call him back in the post show and talk about more things regarding this conversation. What? I really wanted to get into the finances. What do you have? And why does it have a stain?
this is a reused bag. This is actually from a thrift store, and they collected other bags from other places.
Yes, you're very unique. Bringing. Okay. Well, that one's actually cute.
I made it. I made the other one too. You threw on the floor. This one took 2
Well,
weeks.
the other one was shit. But this one is kind of fine.
I embroidered. I
People
mean,
bring things on the show all the time and usually pisses me off. I hate this episode. I hate this episode. I hate this episode. That's actually kind of nice. That's kind of
I
nice.
like crafts. I like
Well,
crafts.
thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I will accept it.
You know what? We don't need to watch the rest of this. I think I get it. Even if she or the usual suspects or the usual people that come onto this podcast are worthy of criticism in one way, in some way, shape, or form, it's very obvious that Caleb, no matter how knowledgeable he is on finances, which maybe he is, I honestly wouldn't know. I've not watched enough of him to know. But no matter how knowledgeable he is or how much he actually helps them, it's very obvious that he is also a fucking arsehole. And like, you know, incredibly misogynistic. So I guess if this is your type of content, that's fine. If you like watching big dumb arguments and stuff, it's not the worst fucking thing in the world, I suppose. If this is like the usual bit, it's just sort of him yelling at people. All right, well, let's look at the allegations now. There are some allegations. On Reddit, there's like a big list of them. A lot of them are unsubstantiated from what I'm aware of, but still worth looking at potentially. So let's have a look. Give me just a second. My Reddit is on light modes, just as a pre-warning, guys. I've not managed to change it for the stream. I wasn't expecting to go on it today. Thought I'd do my attempt of an overview of the Caleb allegations, at least the public ones. Any hole will do, leaked group chat message while Caleb was talking about a teenage boy. What is that? Okay. Fuck, Caleb Hammer, what you doing? Caleb, mute your chat, it's too loud. What's this hit beat you're playing? Smoking is gross. Saying that 15-year-old boys are hot. Oh, damn, 16. Doesn't make your case any better. Okay. Smoking is gross. Thinking from a picture isn't that bad. I didn't think the person was cut because they are young. He had facial hair. Like, come on. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Is Caleb, like, gay or something? Or is he just telling, like, a really edgy joke? Can you guys let me know, is Caleb Hammer, like, homosexual, or is this just him taking the piss? Edgy joke. He's bisexual. Okay. I mean, either way. If anything, I feel as though if he is actually homosexual or bi, it makes it worse, because then there's a higher chance that he actually means it, if that makes sense. If he's straight and not interested in boys at all, then here we go. I'd like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you. Fucking hell, brother. I don't know if these get addressed, but it's also the sort of thing where just judging on how he acts during the podcast, it's the type of joke that his audience would probably not be put off by, if that makes sense. Like, to them, an edgy joke is just, it's fine, it's an edgy joke. Apparently he confirmed that these chats were his, and he claimed that he was joking, it's not a big deal. This is interesting.
They think makes me look like a bad guy. The thing they think bothers me is when when I make jokes, a bunch of jokes with other people making a bunch of rage baiting jokes in a group chat from like a decade ago, and they think that bothers me in the slightest. A text group chat where everyone's making insane crazy jokes, and then they screenshot just mine. And it's just like, oh, Caleb Hammer bad. It's just like, that has to always be the reality.
Caleb commented that he wanted to stick his in a hole of his. Any hole will do. When the group chat members told Caleb how gross that was, he decided to double down and said he would shove his right down his throat where it belongs.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the other group chat members are sort of egging this on or telling similarly edgy jokes. It seems like even they are talking about how this is, like, fucking grim. So I'm not sure about all that. Here's the Scott Schaefer vid that's from. Give me a sec, y'all. Okay, so this guy's he's been being spoken about for a while.
Caleb Hammer.
Okay, I've got this whole Reddit thing here, but I think it's probably a good idea just to look at Scott Schaefer's video on Caleb Hammer. Because he seems to go over all the allegations pretty succinctly. And he's a good creator. And then we'll talk about the D'Angelo stuff right after, I think. What do you guys think? We think we look at these, you guys a fan of Scott Schaefer? No way. We're not watching the Turkey Tom video. We're going to watch this one. It's shorter as well. So probably a bit more succinct.
might sue me for this video, and that isn't clickbait at all. He's already threatened legal action against me multiple times before I even released this video, simply for looking into a story he doesn't want covered and not immediately accepting his point of view. Now, to me, that seems very suspicious and almost like Caleb didn't want me to find something. And spoiler alert, yes, I found some very interesting pieces of information we'll be discussing later in the video. Now, a few weeks ago, I was presented with some information that Caleb Hammer, a finance YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, had allegedly acted inappropriately with a guest on his show. I reached out to Caleb by email to get his side of the story, as these allegations were pretty severe, and I had no interest in making a video without getting everyone's side of the story. Caleb initially was very friendly over email and denied all the claims against him, and even told me to have a great day. What a nice young man. Unfortunately, that attitude quickly changed when I didn't immediately accept what he had to say as fact. He told me he wasn't interested in doing a Zoom call because he wasn't interested in participating in the internet drama industry, which I found to be quite funny since, in my opinion, his channel is entirely based on drama around other people's finances. He then made his first of many legal threats, stating that
That's not really opinion, really. Like, that is what his entire channel is based off of. I don't know if it's a great advertisement for his, like, course, though. Because the people that he has on, from what I'm seeing, are very much like, it's very obvious what the solution should be for their situation. Like, the people who come on, if it's all real, they're all, like, a lot of them are fucking idiots.
Preparation for your video, we will be ready for legal repercussions for defamatory statements with very clear evidence proving our case. Now keep in mind that this was after I had sent him only 2 emails and was just trying to get the details around the initial case of inappropriate behavior I was first aware of. Threatening legal action so quickly in the initial fact-gathering stage without any video being made yet really set off my alarms that something odd was going on here. Why was Caleb so defensive about me looking into this case further? If the initial person who came forward was so obviously a liar, why quickly jump to legal threats against someone who was trying to tell a story that would present all sides equally? Caleb claimed that his lawyer had gathered all videos and texts that clearly show his first accuser, Zeke, is lying and made the statement that they had prepared to release these. I asked in the follow-up email if I could see any of the evidence they'd gathered, including videos Zeke supposedly deleted, and even told Caleb directly that if he can prove to me Zeke is lying, I wouldn't make any video on this topic and would move on. Caleb responded upset for some reason that I asked for the evidence that 2 emails before he had said he was prepared to release. I don't understand why Caleb would get mad at me for asking to see the evidence he already stated he gathered and was prepared to release. To me, that seemed like a fairly basic request, and as I stated to Caleb before, if the evidence was as strong as he suggested, I would have never made a video covering any of this. Following all this, Caleb decided to publicly post to his community tab and Twitter a long post claiming I was just a drama YouTuber and questioning my integrity. He then happily responded to one post on Twitter saying, "I'm excited. I've never sued anyone before. This will be fun. Lawsuits are..."
Let's read this. YouTube drama shows Scott is better than most, though. I personally never consumed his content. We'll be objective. I hope our culture does better in the future than feed stuff like this. You as the audience, man. I need to see this, though. I need to fucking... I want to see what the actual stuff going on here.
Post on Twitter saying, "I'm excited. I've never sued anyone before. This will be fun." Lawsuits are never fun, Caleb. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, you'll be devoting countless hours to fighting the case, and eventually the discovery process will take place, where lawyers dig through every document they can get their hands on and uncover every and any secret currently hidden. I've also spoken to lawyers about this case, and you clearly would be classified as a public figure. If you sued me for defamation, you would have to prove actual malice, that I knew information presented in the video was false and posted it anyway. Seeing as how I've given you multiple attempts to talk to me about the issue discussed in the video, as we passed all of Caleb...
I get it. It's very bad. You can't... Defamation's hard to prove. Let's talk about the accusations now.
Legal threats. Let's get into the...
No hate to Scott Schaefer, but I'm trying to get a move on here.
Actual allegations against Caleb. First, we'll be talking about the original accuser of Caleb named Zeke, and then we'll talk about the further alleged text of Caleb I was given after. What many people don't know is that many of the early guests on Caleb Hammer's show were actually paid actors hired off of a website known as Backstage.
Really? Oh, I fucking knew it. I knew they weren't all real. There's no way. There was no way. I swear to God, I fucking called that shit at the beginning. Maybe now they're real because he's so popular that a bunch of people will just apply, whether or not they're actually in bad situations or they're just fucking trolling and laughing. Because there's no way he asked for actual evidence that they're in these bad situations. He probably just takes everyone who applies.
Here on the show. Zeke was one of the actors that claims to have found out about Caleb's show from the site, and from the listing Zeke showed me, the offer was quite generous, with an initial small $25 appearance fee, and then a 25% commission on all revenue generated from the episode for 12 months. Anticipated commission was believed to range from $2,500 to $8,000, depending on video performance. Zeke, only 19 at the time, jumped at the chance to make to him what seemed like a large sum of money. Many people have seen Zeke's episode, have called him an insufferable brat, and way worse things, but don't seem to understand that the attitude portrayed by Zeke isn't true to his normal personality from what I've seen talking to him, and was designed to get as many views as possible to increase his chance of making more money and getting more screen time. This tactic ended up working, and Zeke appeared 2 more times on the Caleb Hammer show, racking up a total of over 1 million views across the 3 episodes he appeared. Those view totals should have netted him a large sum of money if the commission payments seen in the job offer were paid. However, Zeke's claimed to have only received a couple $100s in total for his time on the show. Caleb no longer offers commission payouts on his newer postings for actors on his show, and since he won't talk to me and threatened to sue me, I can't give his side of the story if the commission offer to Zeke was real or if those payments were ever made, so for now, Caleb's side of the story on that will have to remain a mystery. There is an
Yeah, for over 1 million views, he definitely made a lot more than a couple hundred. Like 25% commission, that dude is he'll make thousands off of that, for sure.
old posting I have linked below that shows that commission offer, but I've never heard of any of the actors who appeared on the show receiving that amount.
Especially because the videos are so long, so that you can just spam so many ads on them.
If you were one of the actors who did get those payments, I would love to hear from you, and my email is linked below. While the issue of the alleged missing payments is important, the bigger issue came up in July of 2022 after Zeke's first appearance on the show, when Caleb ended up leaving a very disturbing audio message on Zeke's phone.
Can tell you're a cool dude, and I want to if there's any connections that I have, which I've built a lot of connections in Austin, anything that I'm able to kind of link you to, I definitely want to be helpful. The main reason I haven't wanted to have this conversation via text is, sorry, I had to burp. One, I'm not used to OnlyFans, straight up. It's not really my scene. I'm a personal finance dude. I don't really know anything about that. Two, I'm straight. I'm 90% straight. I've definitely fooled around because I'm open-minded. And when you get drunk, whatever. But, and this is a man-on-man thing. But essentially, I think, from the conversation I had with him, the pay will be dependent on what you're willing to do, and what you're willing to do is set by you. So what he would like to do, you guys make out. He would like to do that. What he would like you guys to do, him fill you up. He would like to do that. You can say no about any of these. He would like to play with your dick. And see, that's why I didn't want to type this out either, because that's weird for me to say. I don't, it's not like we're friends or anything, but that's what he wants to do. He wants to give you a blowjob. I was also told and confirmed with him that your face would be hidden, blurred out and hidden. Your identity would be hidden. And then if you...
I'm so confused. So what, he's talking to Zeke here after scamming him out of thousands of dollars from the podcast episodes. Also, if someone is straight, then usually they're bisexual, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. 90% straight means 10% gay, which means bisexual. Suspect you don't need to be 50-50. There's nothing wrong with that, Caleb. Be yourself. It's all good, man.
If you wanted to give a blowjob, you could. Again, you would make more from that, and he would eat your butt, and you would make more for that. You can say no as well. You could top him, he could top you. Whatever you're willing to do comes with more money, but you could literally do nothing. You could literally just lay back and let him just touch.
So what, is he just proposing prostitution here? What exactly is happening?
You for the video, and I guess for some reason his subscribers love that, and you'd get paid for it. So really, that's what it is. And there's things that I think I don't feel comfortable talking about in this kind of situation, and I'd be happier to talk over in person. Maybe I'm just that kind of person. So you just let me know what you think.
So thank you very much, Ashley, for becoming a lamb. So from what I'm understanding, Zeke hasn't made enough money from the podcast episodes. He's been scammed by Caleb. I guess Caleb's always been scamming people. And because Caleb doesn't actually want to pay him for the podcast episodes that he was promised for, he's trying to pimp him out? Is this not an attempt at trafficking? I don't know. It sounds like he's just trying to pimp him out.
When that audio message was first leaked, a lot of people claimed it was fake, and in 2024, with advancement in AI voice cloning technology, I understand why some people believed that. However, despite that, Caleb has confirmed on his Reddit, as well as in emails to me, that the voicemail you heard is 100% him, and he makes no claim to it being altered.
You've watched the video where he says he's doing it for drama, and you don't think he's lying. Allegations multiple times. Of course, I deny touching him. The voice memo has context that I've given 1,000. Job to look into things.
in any way. What is disputed about that voice message is why it was left, with Caleb and Zeke having very different stories. Zeke talked about doing OnlyFans modeling on his first appearance on the show and wanted help to grow on Twitch and OnlyFans from Caleb. Caleb's version of events was that he was simply trying to help Zeke out by connecting him with another guy to hook up with and make money from adult content on OnlyFans.
Thank you very much, Nyan. Really kind of you.
After talking to Zeke, he made it clear to me that he only ever wanted to fuck bitches and get money. Talking to him further, I asked him why Caleb seemed so interested in trying to hook him up with a guy on OnlyFans, and asked Zeke if he led Caleb on into thinking he was interested in doing adult content with other men, which he quickly denied. Zeke said that the reason Caleb kept pushing the gay OnlyFans content when Zeke only wanted to work with women was because Zeke believed this was an attempt by Caleb to hook up with him instead. Interestingly enough, the only piece of evidence Caleb sent me to support his claim actually supports Zeke's claim that he never wanted to do hardcore content or ever brings up doing content with men, saying he was only interested in softcore, lewds, and solo work. I'm not sure why Caleb sent this as evidence to support his claim, as it makes it clear Zeke wasn't interested in the hardcore content Caleb went into detail about in the voicemail, so I'm really confused as to why Caleb sent me this. Whoever's version of events you choose to believe, I think it's safe to say that the audio message Caleb left was creepy and inappropriate. Caleb runs a finance YouTube channel, and many people
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to make the assertion that, like, Caleb was trying to sleep with him or anything. I mean, if he was, it would just be straight up sex work, like he would have just been paying him to sleep with him. But it absolutely is a creepy voice message to send to someone when you're not paying them properly as well.
Call him the millennial Dave Ramsey. If Dave ever had someone call into the show and then ask them if they wanted to give a BJ on OnlyFans to help pay down some of their credit card debt, I'm pretty sure he would lose a large chunk of his audience for saying something like that. Caleb claims he was just trying to help Zeke out, and if that was the case, there was clearly a better option to do that. Option 1 would have been to not talk about OnlyFans at all, since mixing finance content and sex work is probably not the best idea. Option 2 would have been to leave a simple message for Zeke, telling him he had an OnlyFans friend who might want to work with him, and then simply give Zeke's contact info to the friend so the two of them could work something out.
Yeah, or just pay him fairly for the podcast episodes that Zeke was in. That's the most obvious one.
Option 3, the nuclear choice that Caleb picked, comes across incredibly creepy, unprofessional, and in my opinion, gives some belief to some of Zeke's claims because of how detailed the voice message was, along with Caleb's self-reveal that he is only 90% straight, and his follow-up text of telling Zeke he would needed to vet him in person before connecting him with his OnlyFan friend. This comment doesn't make any sense to me since Caleb and Zeke had already shot an episode of Financial Audit together, so I don't understand what sort of vetting process Caleb had in mind.
That's a good point. If he's already met in person, he knows what he looks like, he knows the height and everything. The only difference would be like, what, I need to vet you with your fucking clothes up or something? Like, what is going on here?
This wasn't Caleb's first attempt at offering OnlyFans to people who appeared on his show. On Caleb's subreddit, early on in his YouTube career, he made a post explaining he had offered OnlyFans work unsolicited to several of the actors who appeared on his show and wanted to ask his audience if they felt this was appropriate. After his audience overwhelmingly made it clear they felt this was not appropriate.
Yes, okay, someone just said Bentelek coded. That's exactly what I was thinking about, by the way. Long-time viewers, some of my first guests backstage just called a website. Now they're aspiring actors. During my first 6 months making videos, I started becoming friends with local creators. Many streamers also have OnlyFans. They said they were always looking for people to collaborate with. Figured it'd be nice to offer potential opportunities to some guests. I've done this with a variety of jobs, 4 times with actors. This is incredibly Bentelek coded. So it seems as though the guy has, you know, he has a fair amount of influence now. He has a lot of money, and now he's trying to cash in on that by like getting with people who do OnlyFans, essentially being like, oh, you know, maybe we should like do a collaboration. You know, I'm a lot more famous than you. I have a lot more money than you. I can help you out a lot here. So now he's just trying to sort of slide into people's fucking pants, I guess. Hey man, just dropping a donor to say that I really appreciate your takes and coverage of things lately. Your integrity and understanding of nuance continues to be really refreshing. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nightmare Cosplay. It's incredibly nice of you to say. Bentelek was that bullshit, my bad. So Bentelek is someone who did a very similar thing to what I believe we're looking at now. He's just a TikToker. He was just like the shittest TikToker in the world, but he had a lot of followers. And he would just sporadically go around messaging OnlyFans girls, asking for collaborations. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with messaging girls that you're interested in, but like when you're so fucking creepy about it. When you're so creepy about it and trying to frame it as like this altruistic, oh, no, I'm not just interested in you. I'm trying to offer a mutually beneficial relationship where we build each other up and I help you out with your career. It's like, no, you just want to shag. You just want to shag them, which is fine, but just be upfront about it. Don't be a fucking weirdo about it all. Just flirt like a normal fucking person does.
and wanted to ask his audience if they felt this was appropriate. After his audience overwhelmingly made it clear they felt this was not appropriate and questioned why he was doing this,
I would absolutely avoid it unless someone specifically asked about it. If someone that ran an OF or something similar came onto the show and was looking to collaborate with someone, that's how you end up with some of the drama from earlier this week. My honest thought that most relates is that I'm in need of meeting with a financial advisor. If during that meeting at any point they suggested myself and my wife do porn to make extra money, I would be extremely creeped out. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely.
Caleb quickly deleted the post. Unfortunately, Zeke's claims against Caleb don't end there, as Zeke has also made the claim that Caleb inappropriately touched him after the filming of their second episode together. Yeah, you're claiming he actually touched you inappropriately as well?
Yeah, he did. He locked me in his house after the second filming. When his friend who helps him film, he left, I was locked in his house, and he sat me down on his couch in the living room, and he was trying, like, the reason why I was on those shows so many times is because I was looking for opportunity, and he kept promising opportunity aside from the OnlyFans stuff. But he was really trying to lure me in with that. He was breadcrumbing me. And so the second time we filmed, I was on the couch, and he would not let me leave. He would not pay me what I was owed for that filming. And essentially, he didn't give me the money until he groped me. And I needed that money to go home because he knew all my personal finances. He knew how much money I had. I had no money when I showed up. I had zero money because I had spent it on gas to get to Austin. He knew that.
Okay. How much did he claim he was going to be giving you?
Thousands.
And how much did you
have? The contract was thousands of dollars, and he only paid me less than $200 for filming.
While Caleb has never denied the voicemail is real, he has always claimed that the other accusations Zeke has made against him are completely false. Caleb has claimed that Zeke threatened his life and doxed him, and this is just a disgruntled former actor on the show, unhappy that he didn't want to bring Zeke back for more episodes. When I asked Zeke about that, I was actually shocked that he openly admitted to me that he had threatened Caleb's life. You're not lying? You didn't threaten to kill him?
Of course I did. He molested me.
Okay. So, but you are confirming that you said that?
Him calling me a liar is him lying, but I mean, of course I threatened to kill him, but it wasn't really like...
Yeah, if he genuinely was molested, then, you know, saying in like the spur of a moment out of anger, I'm going to kill you or something like that, it's completely justified. Well, it's understandable as fuck. Like, I wouldn't judge someone for that, essentially. It's so tough, though, because it's one of those situations where... and this is why so many people get away with it, because there's no, like, concrete evidence of the molestation or the groping, if that makes sense. So all it takes is for Caleb to deny it for the waters to get pretty murky. I would like to hear what Caleb's response to this, or if there was, like, a public one, at least.
I'm gonna do it. It was more like, be scared.
Now, I have to say that Zeke's behavior of threatening Caleb's life, doxing him, and his somewhat unhinged ramblings on social media have made a lot of people question his motives and unwilling to trust his story about the things he claims Caleb did to him.
See, that I sort of look at it the opposite way, though, because if he's willing to acknowledge and admit the things that he has done wrong, then that makes me feel as though he is being honest about whatever else he's talking about, despite it not looking good for him. Like, if someone's willing to acknowledge the shit they've done wrong and it doesn't look good for them, then, I don't know, it makes them more credible, in my opinion. Like, being able to take accountability and being self-aware, I think, is a good sign of trustworthiness, if that makes sense. So if anything, I think that helps his case, to be honest.
He had never acted in that way, I think a lot more people would be willing to give the benefit of the doubt to him. Now, in my own personal opinion, I've actually been in a relationship with a woman who had been assaulted in the past, and the anger and violent outbursts were something that I experienced firsthand. So while other people may quickly write Zeke off as a schizo liar, I don't think it's fair to immediately claim everything he says is fake just because he's acted inappropriately on how he handled this.
We can talk about it if you want. I'm just saying, it's very clear to me that this Zeke guy is full of shit, based on all the stuff that we're seeing here. That's all I have to say, dude.
Zeke's story has been talked about by a few channels now. And
really? What's being shown there? I'm dead. It's easier now. I have a better understanding of what it is. So what do you think? He still wants me to vet you, and I can make him cover your gas for the trip. I probably wouldn't be too interested in going along with that deal, to be honest. Not really my type of thing. I could meet him. To convince. Also, I need really funds go. No worries. Okay.
That's all I have to say, dude.
Zeke's story has been talked about by a few channels now, and if it were just Zeke's claims about Caleb, I probably wouldn't cover this story, since Zeke's claims have already been told several times before, and unfortunately for him, his past actions make him look untrustworthy in the eyes of many who see him. I ended up talking to a few friends and several other YouTube creators as well, and one thing that was brought up was that if there was any truth to Zeke's story, Caleb has probably acted inappropriately in the past as well. Someone who would so brazenly do what Zeke claims he did would have other skeletons in his closet. It didn't take long for another source to come forward, and I was contacted on Twitter by a former friend of Caleb who had known him for years. He went into detail about their history, and while I have to keep most of his initial message private so as not to dox him, his final paragraph paints Caleb in a very bad light. I share all of this with you to say that everything I know about Caleb, based on years of experience and communication with him, tells me that any of these allegations made against him are true. He believes wholeheartedly in his superiority to other people, which is why I believe he enjoys telling people about how wrong they are and need to do everything different with their finances. I think he gets off on feeling smarter and better than other people, and because of his frequent and unwanted sexual comments, I am not surprised in the least that someone has reported that he has made unwanted advances and/or similar. He's a narcissist through and through, and he thinks his supposed intellectual and moral superiority make him immune to consequences or mistakes.
Yeah, he does tell, just from the small amount we've seen of him, it's like he exclusively tells really inappropriate and raunchy sexual jokes about people. Like when that woman, when a woman's on his podcast, it doesn't even take 5 minutes for him to start talking about her tits. And then he talks about what? He wants to stick his dick inside a 16-year-old or whatever the fuck. It's like, it's really not difficult for me to believe that he makes some risque sexual and uncomfortable jokes in person and possibly touches people inappropriately as well. There's plenty of people who like fucking weirdos who like are open-minded or whatever they say, who just touch people without their consent and it's meant to be like a joke. I've known a lot of blokes like that.
Source wants to remain anonymous due to the constant death threat Zeke and others have received from Caleb's fans, but I have verified that he did indeed know Caleb for several years, and if Caleb were to claim this was a lie, I have plenty of evidence the two of them know each other and would be able to prove this source isn't made up if Caleb were to ever claim this source isn't really who he says he is. The source ended up sending me dozens of chat messages he claims are of Caleb, and if true, show a consistent pattern of unwanted sexual comments towards—
Just to be clear though, I don't know whether or not the groping thing is real. Like, I don't think it's appropriate to make a concrete accusation or assertion there just because we weren't there and we don't know exactly what happened. But to immediately dismiss either side, I think is equally as inappropriate.
Others in the group, as well as further sexually themed comments about a 16-year-old boy. I was truly shocked at just how much was uncovered. At the time of filming this video, even more is still being found. I've done everything in my power to confirm these messages are real, including sending one that has the sexually themed message about a 16-year-old boy to Caleb to ask if he wanted to deny if it was real. Caleb's response was that it was very out of context, but never denied it wasn't from him. Caleb's lawyer reached out to me after that email and asked that I not share what was in her email, so I'll honor that request and keep that conversation private. Now, before we take a look at the chat messages, I have to give some context as to where—
Okay, we did see these chat messages, so I think we can skip this section, or we'll keep the
where these actually came from, and to do that, we have to talk about Caleb's past. Now, despite Caleb having a channel about financial audits, he actually has no business degree and instead studied music composition at Western Michigan University, where he graduated in 2018. Following that, he began composing music and even created a YouTube channel that followed his musical endeavors as well. It was around this time that Caleb ended up joining a group known as the Millennium Composers Initiative. This group was created to bring young composers from around the world together so they could share ideas and foster growth for each other's musical careers. Caleb is still in this group to this day, and you can find his picture on their Instagram page and website. However, he no longer seems to be an active member since his finance YouTube channel took off. This group eventually started a Facebook group chat for its members to talk about their musical careers, as well as other topics, and it's from this chat that the alleged text from Caleb come from. The source of the text, who asked me to conceal his identity, explains to what extent he believed the group was for.
We felt, or at least I got the impression, that we had very clearly agreed that it was a professional chat, and that we had professional friendships, and that we were approaching it in that way. We did not really touch on topics like that very much.
The topics that he felt were inappropriate are what we're going to be focusing on. The first one that made several people uncomfortable was Caleb's comments about finding a 16-year-old boy hot. Now, in this chat group, everyone has nicknames.
Okay. Now, we have seen these screenshots, so we're not going to watch this entire section here. Saying worse things about a 17-year-old. Okay, we'll watch that one because we've not seen those ones. Unwanted adult. We'll watch the rest of this, but we're going to skip that bit there. I'm not too fussed about him not having a business degree, to be honest. There are plenty of people without business degrees that know a lot about money and are qualified to give advice about money. I've not got a business degree, but I could probably give you better financial advice than 90% of the financial gurus that are on the internet. And I'm not even exaggerating there. Like, I definitely fucking could. And that's not even because I'm like a master with money or whatever. Like I'm not a finance bro by any means, but it's because the majority of finance gurus are fucking, scammers.
In another post, it made it clear that Superho has no qualms about his desire for those young teenage boys. So in these chat messages, Superho posts a picture of another member's Instagram page that shows a young boy, and he asks who the guy's name is, and the other guy gives him his name, which I blocked out, and then Uncut says Caleb's boy crush, and Superho responds with, I would like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you. Uncut responds with gross, and Superho responds with hot, let me. Uncut responds with, dude, he's like 14. Superho responds with, nah, probably around the other MCI member's age, if they were there with him. Later, Superho says, and if fuck, 17, it's legal there, it is here. Uncut responds with, Caleb, you're 23, that's gross. Superho says, not really, what, I'm 50 and I find a sexy 21-year-old I could be a sugar daddy, I will do it. Or her.
Zumi, drop some money advice. I suppose the quickest bit of money advice I could probably give you is invest in beans. If you want to eat food, learn how to make meals that involve beans. So like very simple bean soups, very simple sort of chickpea stews. Beans are very cost effective. They're a great alternative to meat. They're 1/3 protein, a lot of them. So they're full of pretty much everything that you could ever need. If you eat beans as well as, greens and whatever the fuck else is in your diet, then you'll have a complete balanced diet and you'll save a lot of money as well.
Sugar daddy. Has sex all the time responds with a confused or upset meme. And then Superho says, both my grandparent sets are 10 years apart. 6 years is nothing. I would shove that cock right down his throat where it belongs. Uncut responds with, it's something if they're underage. Superho says, anything under 16 is. Believe it or not, 17 is not under 16. Has sex all the time responds with another meme. Uncut then says, still not an adult. Superho says, I fucked too many people when I was not an adult. Uncut says, just trying to save you from trouble. Superho says, if something is not against the law, there would be no trouble. Uncut responds with, I mean you do you and do those boys. And Superho responds with, I do. As you can see from those texts, the other members of the group clearly did not agree with Superho's openly sharing his desire for teenage boys. Now, to make it clear, I don't care what Caleb Hammer's orientation is. Many members of the MCI group, including the informant who gave me these texts, identify as members of the LGBTQ community. The issue here, if this really is Caleb, is his alleged interest in young teenage boys and his continued attempt to openly express this in the MCI group chat that was not intended to host this type of conversation. The informant who gave me these texts told me this type of continued behavior made himself and others very uncomfortable.
I just cook beans with rice so I don't have to make too many curries since I'm South. Yeah, you could eat beans with rice every day and be totally, like, obviously, because the beans with rice probably has like some onion in there, so you got some vegetable as well. You'd be totally fine. And as long as you eat like other things as well, but not even too, like, as long as, like, if 80% of your diet could be rice, beans, and veg, and you would be A-okay.
Other occasion, Superho decided it would be a bright idea to post a screenshot of an adult video of two men having anal in the chat. This pissed off everyone in the group, and few of the younger members of the group were quickly removed from the chat before they saw the image so they wouldn't have to be subjected to it. So in these chats right here, you can see several members are talking about different adult stars that they like. Superho talks about how Kyler Moss used to be his favorite adult star. I wish he didn't stop. He stopped a few years back. Now my favorite is Joey Mills. So these texts go on for a while until Uncut eventually says, it's all fun and games, until Caleb posted a picture of Joey Mills getting effed. And then a few minutes later, Superho actually posts an uncensored picture of Joey Mills and another guy, to which he responds, haha, changed it on you, it's Joey Mills topping. And then you can see pretty much everyone in the group is extremely ticked off that he decided to post this because it was clearly just a joke, and then he decided it would be hilarious to post uncensored adult content in this chat. And you can see several people asking him to remove it, and they removed other people in the group so they wouldn't be subjected to actually seeing this image, and Caleb doesn't really seem, or Superho doesn't really seem like it's a big deal to him. Now, aside from Superho's love of teenage boys and posting inappropriate, unwanted adult content, he also dabbled in the occasional slurs from time to time.
Okay, this is a lot more petty than, I guess, obviously leave the petty shit till the end, or the stuff that's not as big of an accusation.
On one occasion, he decided to rename everyone in the group to R-Word, including himself, and then to add a cherry on top, decided to rename R-Word 5 to R-Word 5 Mexican. When I spoke to the informant about these texts, he made it clear that he felt Caleb seemed to be a very callous and disrespectful individual, and he seemed to take pleasure in making other members of the group uncomfortable. Those texts you saw were from 2018, but when Caleb allegedly rejoined the group just a couple of years ago, the informant claimed his behavior hadn't changed at all.
Those interactions that I had with Caleb were my earlier interactions with him back in 2018. Throughout the extent of time that we were in those series of sort of friendly but professionally minded group chats, Caleb was consistently a source of argument, of disrespect, of flippancy, and was always acting with in what I found to be a very callous manner.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to have changed much based on the content that we're looking at now. I want to have a look at what this former guest says.
Insult them in the titles and thumbnails to make them seem as pathetic as possible. In a recent video, he even decided to make the Asian guy in the thumbnail look as inappropriate as possible, all in the hopes of getting as many views as he can to rack up that ad revenue. This thumbnail apparently went too far, and his own audience called him out in the YouTube comments and on his own subreddit, to which Caleb then decided to take a break from Reddit and pinned a comment on the YouTube video trying to push back against the well-deserved backlash for portraying an Asian.
Before the people come in here who are only offended on other people's behalf who aren't offended in the first place, we work with a comedian, Hans Kim, on the title and thumbnail, and everyone find it hilarious, so calm down. Okay. I mean, that's very silly. If people are offended at it, then they're allowed to be offended at it. You come in, no, you're not allowed to be. It's like, no, it's a horrific stereotype.
Man in such an inappropriate way. Now, Caleb has claimed on many occasions that guests on the show get a say on the thumbnail design and titles of their videos, and that he would never create those over the...
Yeah, no shot. There's no shot that's true. No fucking chance. But it does seem he has a history of drastically misrepresenting how his show works, whether it be pay or titling or thumbnailing or even just his own character. Although, to be fair, like, it's not as though he tries to hide how much of a shithead he is. It's just that his audience don't see his character or the character that he portrays as, like, bad behavior. Like, they probably love that shit.
Top designs unless the guest was okay with it, but after speaking to a former guest of the show, Gia, she said something entirely different. Caleb put her in a jail outfit in the thumbnail, wrote scum on her chest, and titled the video that she deserves jail. Gia claims
why would anyone agree to that? It's such bollocks.
She never agreed to that and was very disappointed how she was portrayed on the episode, claiming the bad parts were hyped up, which led to Caleb's fans attempting to dox her and ruin her life.
Like, we did the episode, they told me to hype up my bad parts. And so, like, to make me out to be, like, the bad guy, because that's, like, kind of his shtick. And so that video ended up being really, really, really bad, to the point where they were trying to dox me, they're trying to dox my husband, they're trying to dox my family.
There was
Like,
people who watched the episode?
Caleb himself.
Yeah, people who
I'm
watched
sorry, what?
people who watched the episode were trying to dox you?
Just his audience.
And one thing I want to ask is about the thumbnail of your video. It's you in a jumpsuit, and the title is "You Should Be in Jail," and it has scum written on your chest. Did you approve that thumbnail? You did not approve it.
No.
Because the people say that all of the thumbnails are approved by the people who appear on the channel, and you say you did not approve that thumbnail.
I mean, like, we took a bunch of pictures together, or not together, but, like, they took a bunch of pictures after recording, but I didn't, like, get to see, like, their options for that thumbnail.
An argument that has been around for a long time is whether influencers are responsible for their audience's behavior or not. Some people say no, while others think they are. I land somewhere in the middle and believe that creator isn't responsible for every little action your audience does, but when you create an atmosphere of hate where you belittle every guest that comes on your show, treat them like they are idiots, and portray them as horrible people in the title and thumbnails, your audience will see that and think it's okay for them to also treat these people the way they see Caleb treat them. I heard from several guests on the show who have all been doxxed and harassed by Caleb's fan after appearing on the show, because
it's very true. You do have some level of control over your audience. Like, that it's why we get paid fucking thousands of pounds or dollars to promote things or like do brand deals, because it's known that YouTubers have influence over their audience, and you can be influenced to go and buy a fucking product, for example. You're so influential that you get paid some people get paid hundreds of thousands just to be influential. Like, they're literally called influencers, a lot of them. That's how fucking influential they are. So to say that they have no influence over their audience, or not even that they're not responsible for what their audience is doing, I think is very much it's a cop-out answer for people who act like dickheads online, and then really bad things happen to other people because of that. I feel like one thing it's not a coincidence that the people, like the audience on this channel is very much left-wing, and the audience on Asmongold's channel is like right-wing fucking MAGA insane sociopaths. That's not a coincidence at all. It's because you obviously attract the audience that you portray yourself as. So you do have some level of influence or control over your audience and the way that they act. To say that you don't is fucking delusional. It's not as though everyone just has random audiences. There's a rhyme and reason to everything. Okay, I think now we can actually have a look at the D'Angelo Wallace stuff. You know, we got a bit of an overview on Caleb Hammer. Maybe one day in like a different video, we can actually, stick through and watch an entire episode of the financial thing. Maybe we will do that, but I don't think today is that day. You know, I want to get a good gist of who this guy actually is. So D'Angelo Wallace did a whole 4-hour stream on this guy called Caleb Hammer is Everything Wrong with YouTube. 4 hours long. We're not going to watch all 4 hours of this video, unfortunately, as much as I would love to. But we are going to have a look at a clip. Did you cover how he got banned from every single dating app? No, no, I haven't covered that. I kept getting banned off of Hinge because people kept reporting me because it wasn't public that I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time. So people kept reporting me because they thought I was a catfish. So that was fucking annoying. I got banned like 3 times.
One of the large.
It was really annoying. It was really fucking annoying, actually, because I'd lose all my matches. But here's a clip of the live stream that I feel is better than the entire fucking 4 hours.
Just financial creators on not just YouTube, but the entire internet actually went on live yesterday and told everybody that he's going to sue me. And I don't think anyone realized because the live didn't get that many views, but it's kind of a big deal in my opinion. I may be biased. I don't usually post videos on Sunday. I post on Monday, but the Monday video is what he threatened to sue me over. Okay, here's a little context. If you're new to the channel, I live stream on YouTube right here, and then I cut those videos into videos that come out the next day or a couple days after. Yesterday, I went live talking about...
Bro, I got Hinge the other day and then ran away because 500 plus people messaged me purely because women are so rare. Yeah, that's what happens. That's just what happens.
Caleb Hammer. And before I could even cut this video, he reacted to that live for 4 hours straight. He is in there calling me slurs.
What is wrong with you?
He's threatening.
I honestly think me, as like a fairly successful YouTuber who gets recognized a lot when I go out in public nowadays, still probably gets less attention on dating apps than the average woman. So I don't blame you for getting overwhelmed and deleting that shit.
To sue me.
If you don't think I know how to do legal strategy, you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. I destroy people. I will destroy you. You don't get to do this without consequences.
Multiple threats to sue me.
Do you not know what you are doing right now? You are literally walking yourself into a I'm talking to my lawyers on Monday or Tuesday.
A lot of old men, yeah, absolutely. So many. You can change that though, Charlotte. You can change the age range and then set it to deal breaker, and then you won't be recommended to older men.
Whichever one I have more time on.
He's just, in general, it's a crash out of biblical proportions.
I don't want to hear. You've never helped one person in your damn life, and you'll never be remembered for anything. You have no legacy. You're pathetic. You're a slop commentator. You are nothing. Sit the down. No contributor of anything in this entire world. Shut the up. You were gone for a year, and no one cared, and no one's life changed. Shut up, bitch.
He really thinks he's eating here. To be fair though, like he's a. I know the podcast is like there's editing and all that shit, but he's sloppy as fuck as well. Like he just shits on people. Danky Hinge. I'm not a Hinge sweat. It's like it's an option that you can just pick, man.
I'm a little stunned. I won't lie. So this is just a little acknowledgement of that. I'm sort of gathering my bearings and I'm going to put out a slightly more coherent response to that later. In fact, I'm going to post it tomorrow when I would have posted this video that you're watching today.
He reminds me of Eric Cartman. That's such an apt comparison.
I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't going to be some sort of back and forth. This is not Kendrick versus Drake, because if it was, Caleb would be J. Cole, okay? I don't know what he thinks this is. It's not that. So you go ahead and watch this video. I'm going to leave it up to you to decide if you think this is worth suing me over. And then tomorrow, in about 24 hours from right now when this video goes up, I'll come back and we'll talk about some other things. I didn't have time to get into this video, but if you want to sue me over this, you're going to hate tomorrow's video, Caleb. Anyways, enjoy. Unless you're Caleb Hammer, you are not going to enjoy this. I'm just going to be...
Also, I should say, D'Angelo's not a slop commentary YouTuber at all. I guess slop is subjective. I'm definitely a lot closer to what slop is than D'Angelo is. But D'Angelo, from what I'm aware, he posts like pretty well put together sort of long video. Oh, no, this is his second channel, which is a lot more like my main, to be fair. But D'Angelo Wallace. I'm trying to find his main. I don't know if I can find it. But, oh well. Oh, thank you very much for the membership, Jess. Very nice of you. He just passed it twice. Oh, this is his main here. I thought this was his second channel. No, this is his second channel. Or has 3 channels. Oh, here we go. Here's the main. Yeah, so this stuff here is not slop by any means. He doesn't upload very often for sure, but like, these are video essays. D'Angelo's hair is pretty close to beating yours. So I disagree with you personally. Have a look. Well, he's got rid of it all now. He don't have no hair no more. So I don't back that. You know, he was scared. You know, he saw up and coming commentary YouTuber Dan Kijabo, and he thought, "Fuck, I can't compete with this shit. I need to just get rid of it all. Otherwise, people will start comparing us, and he's gonna inevitably win." I think that's what happened. You do know you're streaming on your main, right? Yeah, I always stream on Dan Kijabo. But it gets re-uploaded to Shepherd Boy. That's the scheme here that I've got. That's the paradigm. That's the situation. I will catch you guys in a second. I need to go for a piss.
To be honest with you, brother. All right, anyways, bye, y'all. Thank you for watching. Or hi. Caleb Hammer is like, if everything wrong with YouTube was a person, I think it would actually be this dude. Have you heard about that finance guy who everybody keeps saying is posting really weird misogynist content disguised as finance? That's bro. So if I had to sum him up, I would say he's known for straight talking, like financial advice, despite not seeming to have too many qualifications. But you know what? I don't either. So I can't speak too much to the financial side of things. All I can say is that his content goes crazy. 2.8 million subscribers is a lot, obviously, but it's actually the fact that dude has 2.9 billion views. This is actually one of the most viewed channels I've ever talked about.
Yeah, that's insane. That's a crazy... This guy is incredibly successful. If there's one thing you could, like, I guess, pat him on the back for, it's that he is insanely successful.
Constantly going viral. And it's not even just on this platform either, right? If I pull him up on TikTok, you've got 179 million likes. That's not even...
Thoughts on ramen? Incredibly overrated.
Saying how many people have actually viewed this content on TikTok. So the first thing that was obvious to me before I did any sort of research was Caleb Hammer clearly has a packaging problem. Whenever he's talking about a woman, the video titles are actually insane. So here's a man, for example. He says, arrogant freak, thinks he knows more about money than me. So for the dudes on the channel, they may get called arrogant freaks, right? They may get called kind of dumb or whatever. How come whenever he has a woman on the channel that he's not rocking with, you get titles like dumb, spoiled B-word? I effing hate her. First of all, I didn't really...
Yeah, I think I did notice that a little bit. Let's go on his channel and see if we can still discover this trend. I'll take ramen as peak. Not really. Just pho is a lot better. Ramen can get pretty fucking heavy and just ruin your day a little bit, and it's like way fattier than I think people realize. Just eat pho. Pho is so much better than ramen. You're kidding me? I think Vietnamese food is like the best in the world, man. It's fucking unreal. Ah, don't even get me started. Don't even get me fucking started. Caleb Hammer. Sorry, I shouldn't say the C word. That sort of fucks the YouTube videos up. Okay, let's have a look. What makes the best mac and cheese? Sorry, what? Why is this a video? Oh, bitch wife thinks she knows it all. All right, so this is one about like a woman, I guess. I exposed him for having an AI girlfriend. Okay, that's a bloke. Most insane financial audit. That's a couple. This dude is choosing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Okay, cool. And then, so every time a woman comes on, he just calls her a bitch. Is that the trend, I suppose? This has never happened before. She got pregnant and didn't tell him. Caleb Hammer ruined my relationship. Come on, man. Yeah, he just calls women bitches in all of his fucking titles whenever he has one on. And to be fair, the same thing with that goth one that we looked at before, where it was like, you are the most, the title was like, the most disgusting person that I've ever seen in my life, or something like that. But whenever it's a bloke, like over here, it's like this has never happened before. It's very sort of minute, I suppose. I'd be willing to bet, by the way, that the women get a lot more views than the men. Like when he shits on women, it probably gets way more views than the men. It's tough to tell, though, because of all the members-only videos. Is there a way to filter those out, maybe? Public. Yes, okay, you can filter those out. That's going to be very useful. Biggest losers I've ever had on. This has never happened. Exposed her cheating. Yeah, look at the views, man. He gets way more views when he talks about women. Crazy ex-girlfriend is mad I won't fuck her. Failed OF model. What the fuck is this? Yeah, here we go. I've never hated a more vile piece of trash. He is right. He never talks about the men in this manner. I kicked off his bitch wife. Okay, this is fucking all right. I think I get the idea now.
Really know you could name a video I effing hate her and the B word in the thumbnail and get 600,000 views, but you can't. It's like, oh, he did this one time. No, you've also got really fun stuff over here. Fun, heavy quotes. Like, I kicked off his B wife. It's really, 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 really common. He's aggressive. He's nasty in the way he talks about these people. I've never hated a more vile piece of trash. Goth freak. Oh, wait. And of course, we do have septum piercing freak. So from one septum piercing freak to another, I'm sure this is not going to be an excruciating watch at all. Someone said incel vibes for sure. Oh, just you wait. Anyways, it is absolutely a gender bias. You have this dude on.
Yeah, I think people on the right don't like people with septum piercings because you need to be like at least 18 years of age in a lot of places to get them. I don't know if that's appropriate. I might need to cut that from the final edit.
here, right here on the left, who is actually a deadbeat. I went through this episode. Bro is a freeloader out here wasting his partner's money, spending it all on OnlyFans. And the video is named Financial Audit's First Affair. You don't get any of this insane language. But then you take a woman who it really seems like her biggest sin was actually just being annoying? ? And she is the one who gets called the dumb spoiled B word. He effing hates her, etc. Essentially, this dude is making anti-SJW content.
We don't listen to people that look like you anymore. I don't know if you know this. You've lost all the power.
What does that even mean? Is it a woman thing?
No, SJW thing.
So you're sexist.
I said SJW. Is that women?
Well, I mean...
Yes, Caleb. SJW does mean woman. SJW means woman, person of color, queer person, any sort of possible minority just gets labeled in SJW for merely existing. But hold on.
I don't know what SJW is, but
Social
you like to
justice
talk over
warrior?
women all the time.
I talk over everybody, including myself.
You can't talk over yourself.
Oh, yes, I do. And that's why I flub so many words.
If you're thinking to yourself, he sounds stupid. I have so many clips of this man, not too many. He sounds stupid in every single one of them, while simultaneously...
Yeah, he does that thing where because he sounds confident and assertive, people think he's smart, but then he says really stupid things like, I talk over myself. What the fuck are you talking about, brother?
saying stuff that is equally harmful. It's actually pretty painful.
I talk faster than I think. I don't know what I'm saying half the time.
Well, then maybe you should stop and think for a minute.
We don't listen to people like you anymore. We really don't. You guys have no power. You guys were like 0.5% of the population.
He actually sounds like a toddler. You don't listen to people like you anymore. He kind of sounds like an SJW. He kind of sounds triggered. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. So what with him being anti-SJW content in the year of our Lord 2026, what does that mean exactly? You're thinking, well, they must have evolved some kind of way if we've been doing this for like 10, 15 years, etc. No, it's the same thing. It's taking people who use different pronouns, who look different ways, and presenting them to your audience as if like, oh, you're an absolute freak. Here, I've got the goth freak for you right here.
I mean, I do identify as it as well.
You actually?
I accept all pronouns, you know. Yes. So the theme, Twilight Wedding.
Oh my God, you try to get woke.
Oh my God, this goth freak. She uses multiple pronouns. She likes Twilight. Look, is that a septum piercing? At this point, some of you may be wondering, what does this have to do with finance? This is ostensibly a finance channel, helping people get their lives together, helping people get their money together. But no, you get stuff like this.
Yeah, that's not what it is at all. Like, let's not be silly here. This is just an anti-woke channel. It's for people who hate feminism and all that shit. It's basically like 2026's answer to like feminists get wrecked compilation.
Inviting the most out there people you can find. I'm not even talking about out there in terms of presentation. It's more so getting people who actually are toxic and labeling them, oh, you're LGBT. $369,000 of LGBTQIA plus debt. He's just bad with money and not nice to his partner. Why are you making this a gay thing? Because you're homophobic. Earlier this week, we were already talking about the resurgence of the R slur. If you're wondering the trickle-down effects and what kinds of people are pushing this, it's people like this. So here he is talking to a woman about her autistic child.
That has so
she's not.
Well, but you're getting payments.
No, it's not payments. It's to help with her. It's to help her learn how to be a person and like help her function, you know, and like how like she's got.
You don't have to explain it. I'm sorry that this is happening to you.
It's not.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Here we get this weasel behavior that you get with all dudes like this, where they can't actually stand tall in their douchehood, if you will, and it has to be like, oh, I wasn't being bad. I wasn't saying it bad.
So mean.
Well, no, I was meaning it in the clinical. The clinical sense is mental retardation.
Autism is not mental retardation. That's two.
Mental retardation is a very outdated term. I don't think anyone actually I don't think any like DSM or any medical. That's not medical jargon anymore. Like it's been renamed, I think, by at least by every country in the West.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Infuriating. We get the point. Also, his stupid excuse that like, oh, this is just the clinical.
Because people are very much misusing it and like treating it as an insult. So it's very much not a term anymore.
Term. He literally comes right out about 6 minutes later and admits why he actually said it. Bro, you can't even keep your story straight.
Yeah, it's just rage bait. Like he's trying to act as though like it's this fucking altruistic. Oh no, I don't mean it in the bad way. I'm trying to use it in the medical way. It's like it's so obviously bad faith that it sort of exposes just how sort of dishonest he's being in these podcasts and unwilling to actually help. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted, Jess. Really kind of you, man.
Here.
I'll call her, trigger some people in the audience. I don't care. That's all hee hee ha ha.
It is literally just to trigger people. So, I mean, have we already sort of covered like homophobia, ableism?
Yeah, in the UK, it's learning disability. That's correct. Can confirm that begging in the most recent Tyler video gained you at least 1 new sub. Thank you very much. And also $13.99. Very nice of you.
In here, misogyny. I don't even think I've showed you guys a sum total of 2 minutes of this guy's content at this point. It's funny, I could almost end the video here. I think some of you are like, D'Angelo, please end the video here. But I have more points to make. Any one episode of the show essentially has all
Oh shit, I was just reading it as Jess. Your username is Jesse's cut thumb. And your profile picture is actually my fucking thumb that I cut off a while ago. How did I not notice that? Jesus Christ.
Problems happening at once. You don't have to like
It wasn't my thumb though, it was my ring finger. It was this one here. It's healed up fucking amazingly, actually. You can barely realize that anything's like gone.
Roll through this guy's channel and try to build
You can see in the picture that it's not my thumb. That's on you, man.
build a picture of who he is, you can literally just watch 5 minutes and see. He's a massive creep when it comes to anytime he has a woman on as a guest. It's not just that he's being misogynistic. He's also just so icky. We're 59 seconds into this video, mind you. This is actually among the first things he's about to say to her.
Am I able to consent to roast you and whatnot and stuff before I go into this whole thing?
absolutely.
Yeah, then why the fuck are your tits pointing to the ceiling? And then why this?
I said this. Whenever he has a woman on, it takes not even 5 minutes in, he'll start talking about their tits and making it sexual.
Because
you never seen a goth person?
The idea of actually commenting on somebody's body like this within a minute of encountering them is wild to me. I don't know how much strange content you have to be consuming on a daily basis where you're like, this is appropriate first impression material. I'm going to mention your body.
Yeah, unless you met on fucking Grindr, I don't think there's any situation where something like this is appropriate.
No, dude. God, this is such weird this is such weird content to be the meta right now. It is so weird that this is the meta. Also, we have this really painful conversation about being alt.
You know what's funny? The shade name is Clown White. So we love that. I mean, if you look at the alt community, it's hard to find a good alternative community like
there's an alternative community.
Are you
a community that is just alternative? Well, isn't like everyone alternative?
I mean, I guess you could
alternative to what?
He's so stupid. He's not only
He's not stupid. He's being stupid on purpose. That's not real. That is that's just him trying to make her look dumb. Thank you very much, Bryn, for the gifted.
stupid. It's not the kind of stupidity where you can just write off everything he does as, oh, he's harmless because he's not very smart. He is pretty harmful and also just such an idiot. As she said, are you dense? Also, as somebody who is part of the alt community, if you're clicking to this video and you're like, oh, what's going on with the hat? I purposely dressed a little bit more alt than usual just for this video. I want to stand in solidarity. I am in solidarity with Goth Freak. Can we please stop making fun of people for things that don't matter? You can put on clown makeup all you want. And I still struggle to understand what any of this has to do with finance. I think maybe the thing that's so fascinating to me is back when, unfortunately, I was radicalized by anti-SJW content like 10 years ago, the people making it at least try to seem cooler than the people they were talking about. It didn't work. And you would only really seem cooler to a teenager or like a deeply uncritical person. But yeah, I think this doesn't work anymore. People have voices. No one even gets triggered. She's not actually mad. I think even the other woman was very calmly explaining, like, why are you talking about people this way? You shouldn't be using slurs for people who have autism. But because he is like going there, if you will, you have all these people sort of hailing him as like the resurgence of anti-SJW content. Nature's healing. And I'm being so serious, by the way. Like, hold on. Look at some of these comments right here. Imagine looking like this and thinking you're right about anything. 2025, 12/15. Someone posted this picture like 6 weeks ago, not in 2015.
I love that. I love that because it almost implies that like Caleb Hammer is the fucking is like the idealistic male body. It's like just because you don't look conventionally attractive doesn't mean that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about or you can't have good points.
That's why I'm making this video. It's a mix of me obviously saying, hey, I'm really unhappy that this content is outperforming everybody, but also I am actually genuinely incredulous that anybody would be like, oh, you have color.
In fact, she looks a bit like Caleb Hammer.
Hair, you're wrong about everything in the entire world. They no longer have any power. Nobody cares anymore. Caleb Hammer became popular not only because he's good at finances, but it's because he doesn't sugarcoat things. Oh, look at this. The mental illness is strong in this one. We live in bizarre.
Yeah, these are all just like 14-year-old boys. These are all just 14-year-old boys, man. It's fucking nothing. Like, it's nothing.
World. I watched this content die out. I watched it die out. I was there. I was aggressive at that time trying to deprogram myself and disconnect and start calling people like this weirdos. And this content did get smaller and smaller. It absolutely got more insular. I was there. And now I am watching it swing back into existence. America is healing because we're back to saying that dyeing your hair makes you a triggered SJW. This hurts. I'm sorry, Goth Freak. I gotta stop calling her Goth Freak. I just find the term really funny because it's not like offensive. What is the like moral failing of being a freak? I fail to understand. He calls her boyfriend in this clip because she tells him that she's in an open relationship with her partner. And this is how that goes down.
So are you okay with your woman looking like this?
I mean, you know, it's once in a while.
Told you it was a simp. And what do you think about her going out there and slapping flaps behind your back while you're not going out there and having any fun?
Is it the 50s? Does a man's opinion have anything to do with how you choose to present at this point? Anyways, I find this to be absolutely fascinating of how Caleb is going to try so hard to make this look stupid, to make her look stupid, to make this guy look like some sort of whatever. And it just doesn't work. All that happens is he commits cringe and dies on camera every single second. It's a new death of Caleb Hammer.
She's and you're not.
Yeah, we've been known about this.
Yes, I'm trying to get you stop talking for him, you domineering dude. I'm trying to understand his opinion from his mouth.
All right, talk to him.
She's going out there and f***ing women. You're not.
Well, I mean, you have higher sex drive than I do.
Yeah, I do. That's the thing.
Where is the issue? Where?
This guy's fucking based, by the way. Like, he's on this call and he's loving. He's like, he don't give a fuck. He's just happy in this relationship. I kind of like that. I really like that for him. Obviously, assuming that he's not like lying about it and like grossly insecure secretly, but he just seems like a chill dude who doesn't really give a fuck. And this guy's really, really fucking angry about it, and there's something really funny about that.
I'm struggling. I think we watched him try to force this issue like 3 or 4 times in a 30-second span. He knows, she knows, and he is not in their relationship. So how does any of this matter? Literally at all. Also, he's racist. So the boyfriend in question is Vietnamese, and upon seeing a picture of him,
big up the Vietnamese, man.
For some reason, Caleb immediately reacts this way, which I find to be so strange.
Look at that. Look how different.
Oh my gosh.
That was in Vietnam. He proposed to me in Vietnam earlier this
Xin chao to all the Vietnamese viewers watching this video, man.
year.
Oh, he's such a little gay boy.
Little gay boy.
Yeah. Colton, look at
You're
him.
one to talk, love. You're one to talk, love.
Why?
Why? I'm sorry.
Why are you assuming that I'm gay? People say I'm gay all the time, but
I feel like so many things just happen in a 20-second span. Where do I start? I've commonly seen that emasculation of Asian men is a problem and is rooted in racist stereotypes and misunderstanding of what masculinity looks like in other places. I am not the one who can sit here and tell you, oh yeah, looking at a random person who committed being Asian and calling them gay is racist. I'm sort of from the outside trying to largely point at what's going on here. But if that somehow was literally not enough, he just...
Yeah, it's so funny because this guy, I don't mean to be rude here, but he is... We're going to talk about like conventional or stereotypical masculinity. Then what the fuck does this guy, like what right does this guy have to question anyone else's like straightness or masculinity? It's fucking unhinged, brother. Fuck off.
all the time, but
I feel like so many things rooted in, yeah, looking at a random person who committed being Asian and calling them gay is racist. I'm sort of from the outside trying to largely point at what's going on here. But if that somehow was literally not enough, he just starts going down the list of the normal things that people do or the more obvious things that people do when they're trying to be racist.
He was born in Vietnam.
okay. Does he know what you're saying when you propose these plans?
Yeah, I do like
Oh,
children.
he's just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown goth woman.
I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert on projection. I'm really not. I'm just going to say,
He's just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown goth woman.
I'm not going to call it projection because I don't know what's going on here and I don't want to know. All I'm saying is, anytime I see somebody drawing like 50,000 conclusions about something out of thin air, I'm just like, where is this coming from? Caleb, where is this coming from? He would be a little happier if he realizes there's nothing wrong with being a fat, gay person who wants to be dominated by whatever. Like, my brother in Christ. This is not it.
That guy's he's having a great time. He's getting chatting shit about. It don't matter, man. He's gonna go home to his goth girlfriend. They're gonna have a chat about it. They're gonna watch some fucking Netflix. No problem. Caleb Hammer's just gonna shout at some other woman the next day, I guess.
I say this not to
And to be fair, make a lot of money doing it.
actually make assumptions about his sexuality, which I don't know or don't care. And I'm not even a big fan.
Maybe he's trying to convince him to break up with her because he secretly is into him.
Implying that anytime somebody is being homophobic, they're actually gay. That's not my point. I think y'all understand my point. Everything about this man is some sort of strange projection. It's fake. It's phony. It comes across really poorly. And then he just goes on and knocks the guy's accent.
I'm just seeing the picture. To be very clear, it's just you have an idea and it's okay.
No, why does he have that accent?
Because he was born and raised in Vietnam.
Well, first of all, he moved here when he was like 11. So
Yeah, and also you heard his voice. You heard how he sounds. He sounds American. His English is great. There's not a problem there.
he's been here longer in the United States than in Vietnam.
Right.
By like,
which means they usually still have an accent sometimes.
We're done. I'm closing it. I'm closing the tab. I'm not done with the video, but we're done with this interaction. I can't do it anymore. I'm out. But he's a finance channel though. He's a finance channel. Okay, so this is the part where we enter the actual Twilight Zone. When I tell you all you have to do is go to this channel, hit oldest, and get a completely different human being. He's the same dude, obviously. Nobody can go this downhill in 3.5 years. When I tell you though, everything about the way he presented himself 3.5 years ago, it's two different channels. So his content was actually finance stuff. He was talking to people like a normal human being talks to people. He didn't even sound the same. Some of this is just on-camera awkwardness, and that's fair. That's fair. But some of this is like, there's no way this is the same dude.
I could not be more grateful to everyone who's made this first month absolutely amazing. Celebrate with me by giving this video a like so that YouTube...
Who is this?
Holy
I'm telling you, this is Twilight Zone stuff right here. Let me pull one of the clips where he's actually interacting with somebody, and you're going to be shook because they're actually talking about finance here.
Today we'll be meeting with Clayton, but I did see something on here that made me very happy, and that's a Lupe tortilla. I go there every Friday. Every Friday, really? Yeah. Dang. I love Lupe tortilla. I really do. Yep.
I've been trying to tell y'all that this is...
Oh my god, he's so like cute here. He's so cute and amicable and affable. Good for him. I'd love to have... I want to have a chat with that guy. I want to talk finances with that guy.
Actually a form of performance. All of it. Every single aspect of it. None of it is real. You have people like this who are...
I'd let my sister talk to this guy, no problem. That'd be great. Cute. Yeah, he's like, oh, hey guys, today I just want to talk about this thing that I'm really interested in. And thank you very much for watching me. That's what he sounds like. He's having a good old time. A gay old time, if you will.
A little awkward, a little uncomfortable, maybe even have some snippet of good intention or something like this. And they realize, oh, here is a way to be that is about putting other people down. It's not actually about addressing anything that is bothering me, et cetera, et cetera. So no, like, dude, when I saw what his older content was like, I was like, I could have told you he was a fraud, but I didn't think it was to this extent at all. That is inceldom though, by the way, like doubling down on, I'm actually just going to start being really hateful to women because that's easier than working on anything that has to do with myself. Nasty. But yeah, when men finally learn that misogyny is not a shortcut to appearing masculine, we will finally be on the way to freedom. And then when men finally learn that actually appearing masculine.
Misogyny actually is a shortcut to appearing masculine though, to certain types of people. Like there is a huge audience for that online. So as much as it is stupid, unfortunately it does work and it is seen that way by a lot of people. That's what his audience sees it as.
Is a joke and not necessary or important at all. Will be free, but we're not there yet. So look at this. Everybody was really happy to see his growth in the beginning.
People saying he's grifting, I honestly don't know. Definitely scripted. Yeah, maybe it is scripted when a lot of these fucking people apply and shit. It could be scripted to an extent. But then that lady on the Scott Schaefer video was talking about how, you know, she was a real guest and she was mistreated or whatever. So maybe not. Maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them aren't. Maybe the more natural, maybe the more like dramatic ones are. I would also say he's hired actors for the show. Yeah, I don't think he definitely doesn't need to do that anymore because he's so much more popular.
Caleb just featured on Graham Stephan's channel, and you have Caleb right here on Reddit. By the way, Caleb's account, his Reddit account is going to come back up because there's some stuff there that's like, brother, no. Caleb went on this dude's channel, Graham Stephan. You have someone on Reddit complaining that they don't like Graham's.
Have you seen the Mr. Beast allegations? It seemed really serious. Maybe I'll have a look at that next stream because I've not seen about any of that.
YouTube thumbnails or his packaging. And this is Caleb's response to that. I don't
also, to the people saying that he is grifting, it doesn't think it really matters. Like, even if you're playing some sort of character, when you say really misogynistic things, you're still saying really misogynistic things to women on your platform in front of millions of people. Like, the whole it's a character excuse doesn't really fucking work here.
I want to get into the negative convos, but I feel I should respond to this. The platform essentially forces content creators to create these kinds of thumbnails, referring to Graham's thumbnails. And once you know which thumbnails work, you are forced to use them. So says Caleb 3 years ago. If you use something that does not get an instant amount of certain clicks within the first hour, your video will not be put in front of people. Trust me, creators do not enjoy this, but we are forced to play the game. Somebody right here said, that's what the Nazi said too. I'm going to leave that comment in the air. It's funny because Caleb wasn't even talking about himself. At this point, when Caleb posted that, his thumbnails were fine. These are okay. But the idea that he actually has to do this now. Dun dun dun. Y'all look like corpses in these thumbnails. Anyways, look, you have people 3 years ago seeing Caleb pass 1 million views, getting really happy for him, getting 1 million views on one video. He barely has 250,000 subs. And Caleb's over here saying, so blessed for all the support. People saying, you've got this, you deserve it. But then you have this Reddit user saying, nice. Do you have any thoughts about why this one in particular has had the most views? Maybe the internet likes to see pretty blonde women get berated? Lol. I find this to be a fascinating story because every single piece of what's currently happening right now was foretold. You got people telling him, bro, you saying I'm just following orders has historically been a really horrible way of making decisions. Hey, that's kind of weird actually that the first time you ever popped off is because you seem to have framed this video really negatively against a woman. It's fascinating. I don't usually like the word fascinating because it makes everything I say sound like a science experiment. It's fascinating though, in a vacuum, while also still being pretty serious. I also just feel like he sold these people out to get all the way up to 250,000 subscribers and then realized like, oh, I can just switch into all this nasty stuff because it works better. How was that initial 250,000 subscribers supposed to feel? We have the answer. His early audience genuinely hates the stuff that he's doing right now. His mods go crazy, deleting any and everything on his subreddit. You have people talking about his course. He was trying to sell everybody $1,000 course, which we'll get into in a second. And sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. But you have people still in the comments like, nah, this is questionable. This course is weird. Smells like a grift to me. He's a sellout. It's frustrating to hear him using language that sounds like the financial grifters on YouTube. Maybe he is the financial grifters on YouTube. I'm gonna tell you right now. They delete stuff about his content in general. Caleb has jumped the shark. I think it's become more of a drama channel than anything. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. This next one is actually funny. This next one is actually genuinely funny to me. They also delete posts of people rightfully upset at their deleting posts. Caleb and his team are actively suppressing negative comments on the investing program on his channel. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer. He essentially just ignored them or tried to minimize them and put them in a box or essentially kick them out of the community and be like, okay, well, it's not about you guys. Thanks for the money.
He's not ignoring them. Like, deleting it is very much not ignoring it. Ignoring it would just be leaving them up and not saying anything about it. But he's like he's trying to censor it. Well, censor's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but he's trying to suppress it for sure. Like the criticism.
But now I figured out spam the hate woman button is going to get me way more support than y'all could ever give me. I find that to be really, really, really gross. When he first started, he used to mock these courses, lol. He's literally the epitome of what he once mocked. If you're like, okay, well, D'Angelo, is he at least helping the people on the show? Obviously, the answer is no. But I really like this person who did an AMA. They were asked, like, hey, how much of the conversation did you feel was for entertainment value versus concrete advice you took into the future and your finances? And they said, I technically wasn't doing that bad financially. He had to, quote, find other things to push back on that weren't necessarily conducive or productive. Someone said, if you could go back in time and never appear on the show, would you? And they said, yes, because I didn't really gain much and I didn't get to contribute to the conversation as I thought. They also said, though, no, they don't want to go back in time and never do it because it was a worthwhile experience to be on the other side of. And then the last one I have from them is essentially, how did your opinion of Caleb or the show change after being a guest? And Caleb said, honestly, I watched him less and moved up onto other financial content. So all this to say, we get it. This at one point actually was financial content, but not even the people on the show see it this way. It's more just some like Dr. Phil nonsense of let me invite people who are either fine and make fun of them or people who are harmful and attribute all the harmful traits to things that are actually bigoted. Someone said, wait, hold on. Chat's going really fast, but I saw a good one. Someone said, it's been tough as an early watcher of Caleb's content to see how comfortable he's gotten perpetuating racist stereotypes. I would imagine the real-time experience of being this dude's fan is not it. Anyways, okay, so this is the course, by the way, that you've seen various.
I guess the real question is like whether or not which one the real him is. Like, is it the early version or is it the new version? Or are they both real and he genuinely changed as a person? Or is he still like this timid fucker? No, you know what it is? I think the early version was faker. I think that was him trying to like pretend to be professional. Because when you look at his when you look at the group chat from 10 years ago, he's still the same really grotesque, raunchy, weirdo, misogynist, fucking inappropriate bastard that he is now. But when he started the YouTube channel, he must have thought like, oh, let me act professional for a bit. Jesse, have you seen Pooh Boy's video on fibs? You're mentioned in it. I've heard about this. I might have a look after this, the Caleb Hammer stuff. I'm not sure I'll watch it on stream because, you know, one thing I've always preached on this channel is do not watch videos that are critiques on yourself on stream if you have not previously seen them. But maybe I'll have a wee tiny look at it, but I'll deep dive into it next stream perhaps. But we'll see if there's anything to it, I suppose.
People referring to on Reddit. Again, this is the part where I can't sit here and be like, well, yes, I'm a financial expert and this is how I know the course is bad. All I can tell you is charging $997 for the personal audit experience, which is ostensibly supposed to help you get your finances in order. He's claiming that this is actually a $7,000 offer, which he has marked down 86%.
That's so fucking obvious bullshit. It's $7,000 and he's marked. But it's always 80% off.
Can't sit here and call this a scam. But I could definitely sit here and say this is predatory. It just straight up is. This is obviously for people who don't have a good grip on their finances. And you're like, well, I can fix it for you for $1,000. If you don't have
Yeah, he's taking advantage of people who don't know what the fuck they're doing and have no idea how to manage their finances. So he doesn't actually care about helping people at all. That's fucking ridiculous.
have 1,000, don't worry. You got 200. You can buy this one for 200. You can buy this one for 200. But yeah, no, if I was really feeling desperate right now, I could check out. Allowing people to do this is, to me personally, so deeply irresponsible, especially knowing that it's probably likely to draw people in who are already struggling. Someone said I unfollowed him.
Thank you very much for the membership. I comment for you because I love you, okay?
When he started offering courses, valid reason to unfollow somebody. All right, he also has this app. Now, I feel like offering people an app to help them with finance and stuff like that is a good thing. I'm not here to knock this. I'm here to tell y'all, this is one of the lowest rated Google apps I have ever seen in my life. You have a 1.8. For you to only have your fans installing this app and still have a 1.8, you have to be pissing off everybody.
Yeah, that's unhinged. That's fucking mental. That's insane. Because it is exclusively his fans buying this app.
It's uniquely bad. The free trial does not have any clear or easy cancellation path shown in the app. They gave this a 1 star.
He's a fucking scammer. He's a very obvious scammer. Huge fan of Caleb Hammer. I'll have his back on anything he does, but I can't with this product. The app just does not work. I signed up for annual plan expecting to be able to link my accounts, but none of it fucking works. It's just a waste of money.
This app it just simply doesn't work. I guess he is following my advice. He's fixing his problems. So the next thing I would like to talk about, Caleb himself tells the story about what happened to him on Hinge, which is a dating app. And it's just his side of the story makes it sound like it's a funny thing that happened.
I went on this date with
Here we go. Oh, I went on the date with a crazy bitch. Okay, nice. He interacts with a lot of crazy bitches, this guy. It's always a red flag when people interact exclusively with people who are fucking mental, because a lot of the time they're the common denominator there.
a crazy that hadn't been on a date for 5 years. We went back to my place, tried to hook up. She didn't want to. And I was like, okay, please leave. And she left. And then she freaked the fuck out, got me banned on Hinge and stuff.
You can say things like this on a massive podcast.
Okay, hang on. Let's analyze this for a sec. Actually, no. Let's keep watching. I want to hear if there's anything else to this story.
And get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of likes, and get it turned into TikTok energy, and that becomes a dominant narrative. And then your side of the story is just like a Reddit post in the dark. And unfortunately, that's what's going on here. So the person who he was talking about here came forward on Reddit and said, no, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Cool. I want to hear. Okay, this is good. I want to hear this.
That was me.
Here we go. Now we get both sides of the story. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad I waited now.
By the way, who got him banned off of not just Hinge, but Bumble and Tinder as well. And they explained, now this is, I'm not going to actually read this for you verbatim, but quite strange, triggering content talking about how he was touching her without consent, and it was just immensely uncomfortable. The reason, I believe allegations, regardless of anything really, there's no reason to try to discredit people coming forward, but the reason that you know that at the very least this person is the one who Caleb was talking about was because Caleb came on Reddit and tried to react to this and be like, oh, nah, here we go with the over sensationalism that we can't see.
Wait, I want to see the post that she made. Okay, we're going to have to take a wee diversion here because I want to see the actual post. I hope that's okay with you guys. But I do want to actually have a look at this because I think I understand where this went or how it went. Obviously, Caleb invited her back to the house. She said yes after a date, I guess. So in his mind, he's like, okay, I'm in. It's sorted. Like, we're going to fuck. So in his mind, she's already consented. And then, I guess, started touching her up or whatever. And then when he eventually offered, she said no, which is obviously completely well within her rights. Like, you're allowed to say no, obviously. And then he got all fucking pissy about it and kicked her out. But let's have a look. I got Caleb banned from Hinge. Okay, perfect. Here we go. sharing my story because despite what he has claimed, it was a real person who went on a really horrible date with him and reported him to the apps. Just a girl who lives in Austin looking for a boyfriend who made the mistake of going out with him. This is a very, very brief overview of what happened. I matched with him and we met up for a date. This was a few weeks ago. Everything seemed fine. He was nice, dorky, and in my opinion, cute. We were supposed to go out to eat where we met, but it was an early time for dinner, so he asked if I wanted to hang out at his place for a little bit before dinner. Ah, okay, all right. I was definitely apprehensive about this as I literally just met him, but he said he lived really close by and wasn't looking to hook up, just to hang out for a bit until we got hungry. I agreed. Keep in mind, he said he lived close by. He said he had no intention of hooking up. I guess I also had more trust because he was a more of a well-known person who seemed to be very careful. Yeah, I've started saying that, to be fair, as well. I hate it when women lead men on by being nice, talking to them and treating them like normal people and not doing anything flirty. It's very misleading. Well, especially here because they've explicitly said that they're not looking to hook up. So it's very obvious why she would come in, not under the expectation that they're going to hook up or that he's going to attempt to hook up or anything. But it's also possible that he was just saying that because he thought it's what she wanted to hear and he wanted him in the house or for whatever reason. I want to say though, like, intention of hooking up. Yeah, so the well-known person thing, I've started using that to my advantage. So I've got like I made a friend relatively recently who I've not known for too long, but I've been wanting to go to like Europe just for a weekend or something, like France or Italy or something, and they wanted to come with me, so I was like, okay, fuck it. But then obviously it's worrying because we're not known each other for years or anything, so I've just said, all right, get your mate to like make a tweet about me being like my friend was abducted or whatever, and if you don't hear back, then just put the tweet out and I'm fucking cancelled. Like I've got shit to lose here, so I can't misbehave on this trip. So I actually understand why them being like an influencer might make it seem a bit safer, because there's like I don't know, maybe I'm just taking the piss and it's like a joke, or maybe it's more dangerous. I'm guessing it absolutely does depend on the situation for sure. Big fan of reacting to him. Graham Stephen, he put his okay, all right. He also hadn't given me any indication of being creepy. He was being nice and funny. Wait, am I dumb or is the UK part of Europe? I'm sorry, brother. I'm gonna have to time you out. I'm going to time you out for 5 minutes. Go and go Google some things and then come back. Wait, hang on. Was the UK a part of? Shit! I thought you said was Europe part of the UK. Yeah, my bad, mate. I'm the dumbass. Fuck, that's so embarrassing. Do I time myself out now? Shit! Let me know. I need to bring you back. No, come back. How do I untime you out? How do I untime you out? Shit, what? Fuck, I fucked it. Someone untime them. No, okay, is there a mod here who can untime them out? Are you still here? Shit! I'm so dumb, man. Fuck's sake, I dropped my microphone, man. That's so annoying. I can't untime them out. Alright, well, I'll see them in 5 minutes. I can't put myself in the timeout corner. I'll lose all my viewers, man. Shit, man, that's so embarrassing. Anyway. This changed very quickly once we started driving. He put his hand on my upper thigh and I quickly pushed it off and said, I'm not ready for that. He said, oh, sorry, you're just so attractive, whatever. And I said, it's okay. Now, for me, if that was the extent of it, then it would be like... It would be bad, but it wouldn't be cancel worthy or like, I don't know. No, that's pretty bad. That's bad. You shouldn't be doing that shit. You said you're not looking for a hookup. If you were like somewhat flirty beforehand and being all sexy and shit, and then you went to put your hand on the thigh, that's one thing, but it seems as though they were just acting completely friendly and it seemed a little unwarranted. Yeah, that's bad. A couple minutes later, he put his hand back and I said, okay, yeah, this is just, now it's inexcusable. What are you doing? I had literally just told him no. He said, oh, I thought you said it was okay. So I had to clarify that I meant it was okay that it happened, not that I'm okay with it. At that point, I started getting really nervous and realizing I didn't know anything about the person I was in the car with, but I didn't want to overreact and maybe he had really just misunderstood and very clearly stated physical boundaries. When you're flirting with someone, anyone who knows anything about flirting realizes that, like, it's all about steadily ramping up how physical or flirty you get. So it might just start with a compliment, and if they reciprocate the compliment, then you know, okay, cool, that's like stage one. We can up it a little bit to, I don't know, maybe a riskier compliment. And then if they reciprocate, then okay, cool, we can go up another level. But if they don't reciprocate at any point, then you know, all right, this is where we stop. But clearly they're not comfortable with this level of flirtation or intimacy. So we'll stop there and get to know each other a little bit more. You know what I mean? So when you put your hand on someone's thigh and they tell you to fuck off, that should be the end of it. You bring it down a couple notches, you know? Maybe try that move again a date or two later. Or what a lot of men will do, which I think is equally as scummy, is get them inebriated and then try again on the same day. Because unfortunately, that's just a tactic that a lot of people use, and it's very accepted. But still, I suggested we not go home to his house and maybe go somewhere more neutral to do a more date-like activity, to which he started saying, well, there's not really anything to do around here. Yeah, I guess the first step as well, it would be like, if you want to touch her, I guess, like break the touch barrier, you go for a zone less, like, less erogenous than the, like, upper thigh, you know? Start with the shoulder or something. It's also, like, best to ask just before touching people. I mean, yeah, that's ideally, yeah. But, I mean, you can get away with, like, the ankle. The ankle. After we finally got to the house, I was just hoping my anxieties were just me being nervous and everything would be fine. Oh boy, was I wrong, because it only got much worse. Thank you very much for the membership, Winter Stevens. These elbow, femur. All right, you guys are fucking unhinged, man. I was thinking like the shoulder or something. But it's very dependent on how well the date is going, what the vibes are like, how flirty you're being, if it's like a hookup type of thing, or if it's like a long-term relationship type of deciding. It all depends on so much shit. So like, don't take my word for like applicable to every situation. It's so dependent. Hi, I love your videos. Here's my money. Thank you so much, man. We initially were going to watch TV, but we couldn't because the couch was covered with a sticky substance. Okay. I don't know what it was, but it was all over the entire couch, seemed like a sticky oil substance, and he blamed the dog walker, but like I said, I have no idea. What also stood out to me as weird, but on its own, not totally crazy like I previously said, all the things that seemed off already piling up. After he asked if I wanted a tour of the house, and I said, yes, sure, whatever, I was kind of already trying to stay calm. As he walked through the house and he started bumping into me conveniently to kind of like feel me up, basically. Oh, God. Just for like a second or so, and I feel like I didn't even have time to react, like grabbing my ass and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if she said no to the thigh, what makes you think you have the right to touch her fucking ass? I think an important thing to note is that there was no normal build-up of romance, or even like any romantic connection. This is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying. He'd made zero attempts to kiss me or hold my hand, or even really flirt, so the feeling up thing was bizarre. Anyway, on the tour, he had hit one of those buttons that makes all the blinds come down again. Not like a big deal, but it was getting hella ominous in there. The tour ends in the bathroom where he asked me to take a bath in front of him. Like straight up, as if it was a normal thing to do. He asked by telling me he can separate himself from his sexuality. I was like, what does that mean? Jesus fuck, man. At this point, I was full on fucking scared shitless. He just said again, I can separate myself from my sexuality. And I said, no, I don't want to take a bath with a guy I met 30 minutes ago is crazy. Also, keep in mind, I'm looking for a relationship. My profile was clear in that. I was clear on that. Okay, so not looking for a hookup at all. After that, he seemed so confused on why on earth I wouldn't want to do that. Totally normal request for him. He said, well, I have a bathing suit for you to wear. Like, okay, that doesn't make it better. So this is like a normal tactic of his if he has like these bathing suits for people. Fucking hell. Oh, Jade, you're back. I'm so sorry for banning you about the Europe thing. My bad. My bad, brother. I'm sorry. It's good to have you back, though. The UK is in Europe. It is. Yes, it is. It's just not in the European Union anymore, but it is in Europe. My bad. My bad, man. He seemed so confused why on earth I wouldn't want to do that normal request for him. I said, okay, I said, I'm okay, thanks, and ran around him out of the bathroom and into the kitchen. He followed me out and was like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, but okay. How long is this? Oh, Jesus, fuck. Okay, hang on. Okay, all right, we can read it. We can read it. I was freaking out internally, like, what the fuck do I do? This guy had me 30 minutes away from anyone that I could text to get me. He then walked up behind me and started massaging my shoulders and was like, why don't I give you a shoulder massage since you never got one before? Yeah, let me grab my oil! Fucking hell, dude. I started thinking about the couch being all covered in oil, and I looked to one side of me. There was a camera pointed towards where we were on the couch, and internally I was like, oh, fuck. I moved away from him, went to the other side of the island. We were in the kitchen at this point, and said, you are making me really uncomfortable right now. Okay, before I move on, I'm going to say, he has responded to this. I don't know what his response is like. So this is obviously a story with no evidence. I do believe them. However, I am going to bear in mind that Caleb has responded, and I'm interested to hear what he has to say about this all as well. Same mental gymnastics he had been using with the leg thing in the car. He said, why are you backing away from me? I have to point out that if you are ever in a situation where you have a girl alone with you and she says, you're making me uncomfortable, take some time to reflect on it, really think to yourself why she might possibly be doing that. He then was basically berating me, saying, like, why did you want to come here? As if I had come up with the idea. Are you sexual? Are you a sexual person? He asked those both over and over. He kept saying, I can't read you. When's the last time you had sex? How long did you wait to have sex? What is the loudest you've ever been? These are not normal questions. Yeah, of course. While also maintaining that he is not trying to hook up with me, and I was crazy for thinking he was. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. You know how much of how many issues would have been solved if he was upfront about looking for a hookup or looking for something casual? If he had made that clear from the very beginning, there would be nothing wrong, that nothing bad would have happened, because she would have said, not really my thing, not interested, but good luck to you. And then he would have said, fine, and then moved on to someone else, I guess. Ideally moved on to someone else who was looking for the same thing that he was. But like, it's really not hard to be honest with your intentions. If you wanted a casual hookup, he should have just gone to Tinder. No, you can do it on Hinge as well. Just if you're fucking honest, you can do anything you want. If you're not weird, if you don't do anything weird, you don't do anything creepy, you're honest with your intentions, then you're fine. I don't know why people struggle so much with just fucking being honest about shit. It's like, oh, it makes me sound like a fucking, because I guess some guys are worried about sounding like a creep if they ask for a hookup. And it's like, well, you don't fucking say it like you can, just don't be a creep about it. And also, maybe just don't interact with girls who say that they're not looking for hookups. If you are someone who's looking for a hookup, you know what I mean? We should all be more direct with each other. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Just be direct. Women prefer directness. Everyone prefers directness, by the way. Bumble says you can select casual hookups as part of what you're looking for. True. I will say though, there are certain girls who will say no hookups when they wouldn't mind it, and it leads to this weird game where maybe they'll go on a first date and suggest something hookup adjacent or intimate adjacent, and then it sort of fucks with it a little bit, because then the guy will see no hookups in the bio as some sort of weird game that girls are playing. So I would say even if you're a girl, being upfront about your intentions is also very important. Not that it's like your fault that the guy takes that as like an indication that every girl is not being honest about the no hookups thing, but yeah, I would just say everyone should be more direct. But it's mainly absolutely a bloke thing to sort out. They take it like a challenge and it's weird. Yeah. But that's part of the reason why they take it as a challenge, is because there are some girls who will put no hookups when they actually don't mind hookups. That's not me blaming women, by the way. I think I'm sure even if no one did that, even if everyone was completely honest and there were no girls who did that, who were even if women were completely upfront 100% of the time and 100% of them were completely upfront, men would still probably take it as a challenge. So I'm not even criticizing them at all really for it. Get an oil massage. Anyway, I thought about grabbing my bag and running out the door, but I honestly didn't know if I'd make it. And at this point, I just wanted to keep it calm and not have him get more angry. Thing is, shit like this makes it makes flirting very difficult for everyone. Because if you're a bloke and you're trying to flirt with someone, it's sometimes difficult to tell, like, are they reciprocating because they're actually interested, or are they reciprocating because they're scared of what could potentially happen if they say no? So you have to be sort of extra careful. You definitely should not be doing this. And obviously, you wouldn't blame women for being extra careful. That's how you fucking stay safe as well. Flirting in general makes zero sense, but I'm autistic, so whatever. Well, if anything, you should just be upfront then. Autism might help with that. We can't see the screen. I'm not looking at the screen right now. Okay, we'll get it back on. You could definitely tell I was scared though, because he asked if I was cold and I looked down and my body was shaking. Yeah. When there's like this much body language, no matter how autistic you are, it's very obvious that she's uncomfortable. And even if you're getting like a hint that they're not interested or there's like some sort of uncomfortableness in their face or body, then you stop immediately, fucking obviously. Well, ideally at least. Started putting on my shoes and was like, are you ready to go? And he just sat down and looked at me angrily. I was like, okay, we can walk outside, you know, and he grabbed my bag. I grabbed my bag and started toward the front door. We're walking down the street. I had kind of thought maybe there was a fast food place or something. I convinced him to go inside and just lock myself in the bathroom. I don't know. We walked a little bit and he pointed this super overgrown path and he said, that's a nice walk. That's definitely not where I'd kidnap and murder you. Jesus. That's like a fine joke to tell in a certain context, but after the fucking horrific date you've just had, you can't say shit like that. Like, again, if you were having a really good time with someone and you were super flirty and it was super reciprocal and you were very obviously into each other, then a joke like that works fine. But it's something, yeah, exactly. Something like this is like, come the fuck on, brother. I think, no, even if it was someone you're cool with, it's still a shit joke. Like, it's not even funny. It's not even a funny joke. I'm gonna kidnap and murder you. It's like, what's funny? Shut the fuck up! Even if I'm having a good first date, I'd still be creeped out low-key. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a fucking really creepy thing to say. Internally, I had just started praying. At this point, he gave up because he said, you know, we're not really vibing. Why don't you get an Uber home? Fucking finally, Jesus. I said, oh no, that's too bad, but also happy because, you know, I was getting to leave. I will say though, it really messed me up it was really messed up to bring a girl 30 minutes away at that point. I was almost 40 minutes away from where I lived just to make her Uber home. Like, any decent person would have just brought me back to where we met, but honestly at that point it was kind of the least of my concerns. I followed him back into his house and got an Uber. He did offer multiple times to pay for it, but I did not want his money. The person who got my trip, yeah, because he probably would have felt as though he was owed something if he paid for it. I don't blame her at all for that. I'm not gonna survive Caleb Hammer to, I don't know. I don't want to get in his Uber, but while we were waiting, he was just kind of like smoothing things over, I guess. He basically told me he had been trying to hook up with me. Yeah, obviously, I'm not stupid, but it's actually my fault for using Tinder. Okay, but we actually talked about this first or whatever. Yeah, I mean, when you use Tinder, you can choose short-term fun, you can have like long-term relationship. Obviously, this girl was not looking for a hookup, so that would have been presented on her profile. Thank you very much, Fuzzy Slippers, for the membership. But he was like, you're not uncomfortable? And I said, I'm not uncomfortable. Went along, booked an Uber. He said, you're not going to dox me, which obviously I'm not, but anyway, stuff like that. And then after all that bullshit, this man had the audacity to ask me on a second date. He told me actually he doesn't like hooking up and it makes him feel bad. That's such bullshit. He was very obviously trying to hook up with her. Like, very obviously. He said he's looking for a wife and he said, you're really attractive. Like for girls he meets on Hinge or something. So what I think happened here was this girl must have just been so attractive that even though she didn't want a hookup, he thought, fuck, even though I'm looking for a hookup, she's so pretty that it's like worth lying to her to get her on this date. Just because I want to be with her that much. As in like in physical proximity with her. I think that's what's happened here. I was honestly just in shock. I said, I don't know about that. He said, it's fine if you don't have to. Proceeded to insult my hair, saying my roots were really fucking grown out, okay? Which in fairness, he was right. I'm not going to argue that, but he definitely shows his maturity. After that, he basically told me I need to work on being more trusting of him in the Uber. The Uber ride was actually very sus, so I was right. The driver tried to make a stop mid-ride, not only didn't, when I told my mum was watching out on the trip, sketchy Uber, if it wasn't for Caleb, but whatever, I would probably safer with that guy than him. I actually was really affected by this after. I was so freaked out and confused. The whole experience was so bizarre to me. Fair enough. Texting Caleb, telling him about the Uber and asking to apologize, which for all that, I don't know, I was asking too much. And honestly, said, hey, I'm headed to bed. I would prefer not to have a confrontational conversation, but of course I wish the date went better. It's okay that we don't vibe. It happens, and I apologize for wasting your time. I'm sure you'll have many successful dates here in Austin. Hiya, poop fuck. Haven't misled me. I argued when he wasn't trying to hook up, pressured me into a bath, got angry, and I wouldn't. Pressured me to get an oil massage, got angry when I wouldn't. Thought he might ride home. Weird, unwanted touching, deserves an apology. Absolutely. If this whole story's true, then she has acted completely reasonably here. I reported him to Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, all with my story. Yeah, again, if this story is true, then fucking obviously he deserves to be banned from all these apps. Like, I'm not mad at that at all. It seems like this may be a pattern or formula for Caleb. Absolutely. He had the bath suit on prep. He had the fucking oil on prep. He had a camera there. This is absolutely a formula. And there's probably some girls who have ended up getting with him who didn't really want to and felt super uncomfortable but just sort of caved in. Maybe after being banned, he will take some time to reflect on his actions and possibly get some help. I'm disappointed that the apps are backtracking on their decisions if what he claims is true, but at the end of the day, he could always just make a new account. I'm a real person, this did happen. So has Caleb said anything here? What is this? Okay, so this is proof that the messages are real, I guess. Caleb Hammer from Bumble. And then I guess this is Caleb's comment. 1, 2, 3. All right, maybe we can go back to D'Angelo's video now. Because D'Angelo covers this comment, I think, as well.
To get over since 2020. How much you want to bet he's finna over sensationalize the heck out of this? This is why my creator friends privately recommended I get consent recorded, and we live in a single party consent recording state. So after the insanity of last year, guess what? I did. It doesn't matter if you record somebody giving you their consent. It doesn't matter. That's not a gotcha. This is an absolutely horrible start to this sort of response, which we're not going to go through the whole thing. I just feel like that's a strong enough opening for you to understand this guy has everything so backwards. Little does this performative person who is chalking up what was just a bad date, I voice message recorded our entire conversation that she's talking about, and it exposes her for all her lies. But F it, she wants to harm my career, so let's expose her. So yeah, bit by bit, he starts going through. She said that there was a camera in the room, which made her uncomfortable. And he said, yes, as a public figure, I have a security system. Okay, you got to answer for everything. She said that he touched her leg after she said no. And he says, that's beyond incorrect. I made a move. She looked at me odd. I pulled away and asked if it was okay. And she specifically said yes, so I did it again. And she said, no, she didn't consent, Caleb. That's the only point that she was making. I don't think hopping on Reddit and being like, actually, here are the specifics of why every single point of this was wrong, and I'm going to treat this like...
Well, hang on. What did Caleb say? I made a move. She looked at me odd. I pulled away and asked if it was okay. And she specifically said yes. So I did it again. And she said, no, I didn't mean yes like that. I meant it was okay that it happened. Oh, so I removed my hand. Mixed signals used to be okay, let's move on. But in 2025, that evidently means the R word in our insane internet culture. First of all, she never claimed that there was any rape or that there was like a surviving Caleb Hammer situation. She was very reasonable in the accusations that were being... There was no like sexual assault accusation or anything like that, or rape accusation. It was just inappropriate. Like, what you were doing was very inappropriate. Obviously, if what Caleb is saying is true, then I guess it's not as bad, but the odd look. Yeah, she looked at you odd. If you touch someone's leg and they look at you odd, it's very obvious that they're not actually into it. That should be like the signal to not fucking do it again. You know what I mean? And this is from Caleb's point of view as well. So Caleb himself is saying, looked at me odd. So that's like, obviously, the glamorized version of events to make himself look better as well. A hesitant yes is never a yes. And it does sound like a hesitant yes because she looked at him odd. Although she made it clear immediately after. It's a touch on the thigh. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But he's trying to make it out as though like there's a rape allegation here when she never made any accusation of the sort.
And she specifically said, yes, so I did it again. And she said, no, she didn't consent, Caleb. That's the only point that she was making. I don't think hopping on Reddit and being like, actually, here are the specifics of why every single point of this was wrong. And I'm going to treat this like YouTube drama with the receipts. Here's my receipts. I recorded everything. Really, really disturbing stuff. So it just goes on and on and on. She rejected and I was okay with it and moved on. Again, it's 2025. So it means the R word, I guess. And no, I did not ask her to quote, take a bath. I know Gen Z views sex as a bad thing. But
she never accused you of rape ever. I don't know why he keeps like over exaggerating the accusations that are being levied against him. Also, to take a bath or a massage. So he actually admits. So yeah, the bad thing was true. This is like an actual. This is an actual formula that he has. He brings girls home and gets them to bath in front of him. I did not ask her to take a bath in front of me. So what did you want exactly? Just for her to take a bath, just for her own like well-being? Like what the fuck? Why would you invite girls over to just take baths? Also, for the massage, obviously you need to be there.
Again, it's 2025, so it means the R word, I guess. And no, I did not ask her to, quote, take a bath. I know Gen Z views sex as a bad thing, but consensual sex is not bad. I don't know why she's saying it like this, twisting the situation to make me look bad. It destroys her credibility. That's where you're getting some of this 2015 language popping back up. SJW, destroyed.
Yeah, taking a bath in a stranger's house on the first date is fucking crazy. Oh, hey, welcome to my house. I know this is the first time we met. Why don't you get fucking naked? Yeah, get naked. I've got a bathing suit for you if you don't want to get completely naked and shit, but like, yeah, in my house where I can just open the door at any time, unless I guess you lock it, but especially because he has cameras everywhere. Let's not forget about that. He said he has a security system. Let's fucking remember that as well. Jesus fuck, man.
Destroyed by facts and logic, destroyed by evidence. This is really disgusting. And I don't feel the need to, it's just so long. What I do feel the need to show you, because it's actually quite important and explains a lot. Look at this. So somebody said, I'm sorry, things are so crazy. And Caleb says, people like her right now hold all the power. Does that sound familiar? We don't listen to people that look like you anymore. You've lost all the power. I can't stress this enough. Underneath his misogyny is actually a genuine hatred and bitterness at the fact that anybody ever dared to come forward. And now all of this is some strange like punishment of women in general, because people like her right now hold all the power. They can literally say anything and the commentary community will suck it up like water. And people who dislike me believe it without a single thought. And she'll face zero consequences if she lies about things, but I will face them all. We live in a new era. I know how people like her work. I was ahead of it and can literally destroy her in court. It's not a game anymore. It's time to fight back against this.
I'm getting it. He's an incel. He's just an incel. Obviously, he's probably not an actual incel because he's got a lot of money and he's very popular. So there are certain girls who would be willing to sleep with him. But he's one of those guys where if he didn't have the status or like clout or money, whatever the fuck that he had, he would be a like full-blown, genuine fucking incel.
Yes, anybody who is espousing misogyny on main is obviously a problem, but this is actually a vendetta against women. This was a whole year ago and very much explains everything about the way he talks to every single woman. How dare this woman come forward after I tried to use the story of what I did to her for TikTok content. No. It's a no. I hate this punishment of people who come forward in general. You need to be completely silenced and I'm going to use the resources that I have and I'm going to try to build
true as well. He started this. He spoke about her first. Like, he's talking about how this girl come out with all this shit. Like, she wouldn't have said anything if you didn't go fucking apeshit first. He started this. That makes it so much worse. I didn't even consider that.
Where you're wrong. This is why people don't come forward. I am blaming Caleb Hammer as the reason for why people feel so deeply uncomfortable coming forward, feeling uncomfortable calling things SA when it is. But you don't want to say that because you feel like, oh, if I make this claim, people are going to destroy me, essentially. Anyways, if I had to like, in conclusion, yes, I do sort of have a conclusion. At this point, this isn't fun for anybody. I was just poking around his channel and you find comments like Lindsay, being the casting director, just seeks out the most imbalanced and unwell people. It has to stop. Referring to a guest they had on who actually was quite toxic. You have stuff like this on the same video talking about everyone was harmed in the making of this episode, including hurting the audience. Yes, this is obviously said in a jokey way, but this is not good content. I guess constantly seeking out people who are either the worst or making fun of people. Caleb, I think we need a palate cleanser episode next. And the next guest actually just wants some help and have an informative chat. And then somebody says, boring. No, that would be boring. Wild. This is how people were talking about him a while ago.
But he's this guy that has like this financial podcast or show. It has people on his show who have like difficult financial situations because they're like bad with money. And I'm getting a lot of the videos on my For You page. And I also like watch the podcast on YouTube a few times. And honestly, I think it's helping me get my finances in order.
You see people saying things like, I hear him screaming if I ever look at the DoorDash app. I went to Jersey Mike's and I saved $18. And this, that, the other. Having people like this in your audience and then doubling down on racism, misogyny, everything is because you can make an even bigger bag. Because really, you could just get enough people to buy your $1,000 course and make more money than you were ever going to make off of any one video. 2024, you have people talking about him like this. 2026, you got this video of me saying this dude is like absolute misogyny as a person. He really made sure to hit every single box. Also, he says a bunch of stuff on Twitter and I had to save y'all. I literally had to save y'all. I'm not going to go to his Twitter. I'm just telling you right now, there's a bunch of stuff there. It's not going to make my point any harder. I think I can bow out of this Caleb Hammer situation. But anyway, hopefully you never have to think about Caleb Hammer ever again. I know I will definitely try not to. And yeah, I actually recorded this video live right here on YouTube where I stream quite frequently Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time, unless I don't. In which case, I've simply decided.
All right. He's a grown man with a mindset of a middle school boy. I think that's a great representation of what he is. Now we're going to look at some of the responses and stuff because I want to know what else happened here.
D'Angelo. So says Caleb Hammer in a live stream that took place on his channel with over 2.8 million subscribers, in which he delivered the single worst response I have ever received in the entire time I've been on the internet. This, for me, is like the equivalent of a ukulele apology or Shane Dawson screaming on a live stream. Caleb came in hot, okay? I'm assuming D'Angelo is what he named the live after it ended. And funnily enough, it's not called that anymore. He's been trying to walk this back a little bit. Right now, he wants to play Kumbaya, etc. He seems to think we could be friends or something. I do truly think this man has underestimated the levels of haterade I bring to this game. So if you don't know who Caleb is and you don't know what I said, this is a good time maybe to go back and check out my previous video. The thing that he was threatening to sue me over, I just went ahead and uploaded it. The problem is, before I had a chance to put that video out, Caleb took the original live stream where you just get my unedited thoughts, and that's what he was reacting to, which is why it took him 4 hours to respond to all of my points. And because of this, I regret to inform you, Caleb's live stream is actually unwatchable. It is to the point where people in his audience were begging him, Caleb, please just stop pausing the video every 5 seconds. It's going to take forever. Would you let it play so we can hear what D'Angelo was saying before you go off and start screaming? And this was Caleb's reaction to his fans asking him to do that.
Let 30 seconds play. Fuck you. Unsubscribe. I don't care. Get out of here, bitch. I'm doing a reaction to someone talking shit about me. I'm gonna do it how I want, you little fuck.
And if you're thinking, well, that was kind of a lot of energy, is he like this the entire? Yes. And therefore, sorting through this to figure out what his sort of responses to my main points were was excruciating. I went through 4.
And you also wouldn't really be able to sue someone for a commentary video. Like, what D'Angelo said in that original live stream / video was like, it wasn't defamatory. It was just sort of bringing up things that have happened and some allegations that have come up online. He wasn't even making any like definitive claims or allegations against him.
Hours of this energy just to try to give him a fair shot. I think.
Oh, Naz, sorry. I need to make you moderator. My bad, mate. Add as moderator. There you go, mate. Editor Naz is now mod. My bad for not doing that earlier, pal.
I'm definitely dumber than I was before. A few of my brain cells have certainly been replaced with rocks at this point.
Invoiced me for that $5 at the end of the month.
But here is my interpretation of Caleb's responses to my main points that I was making in my video, because I had quite a few. The first thing that I accused him of was uploading misogynist thumbnails, misogynist titles, constantly referring to the women on the shows as the B word, etc. And Caleb says,
we tell them how crazy the episode's gonna be and how the thumbnails and titles are gonna be, and we ask if they're okay with it. They consented, you didn't, you don't matter. It doesn't matter what you think, you fucking weirdo using my name to get views. What is wrong with you, you pathetic fuck who can't do any research whatsoever? You're a loser.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. This is a bad response. I sat through this for every single point that I made just to see if he had any sort of criticism. And so if I sit here and respond to every single time he like starts crashing out and going off on a tangent and I don't know, trying to verbally whack me over the head with a cartoon hammer, I think we're gonna be here for a long time. So pardon me for just responding to his main point. The people on my show, the women.
You can keep it, you need it more than me, but what the fuck's that meant to mean? You can't say that you can't say that when I pay you. That doesn't make any sense.
On my show consent to being on my show. They're okay with my titles and thumbnails. They talked at length about this, about how they have a whole onboarding process. And this isn't a case of Caleb just, belittling his guests without their permission or whatever. And he uses the same argument to combat many of my points where I'm saying the things he's doing are wrong. And I think that's hilarious to basically build your entire defense over something that does not actually contradict what I was saying. Caleb seems to think that I am offended for the people specifically inside his videos. And that's certainly one way of interpreting my video, but I definitely believe the vast majority of other people watching were easily able to see. My point is that Caleb is playing into an ecosystem of misogynist content by appealing to people who hate women, want to see them get called the B word on a thumbnail or in a title, say you hate them, etc. The actual individual opinions of the people in the video have quite little to do with what I was saying. Anyway, my next point that I made was that he was an anti-SJW in the year of our Lord 2026, which I don't even think he disagreed with me.
Because every single person I met who's a social justice warrior or like the old, like not old school woke, but like new woke, because old school woke was good, but they're actually like the worst people I've ever met. If the guest is an SJW, I will make fun of them. If the guest is a racist, I will make fun of them for being racist. Watch the content, you pathetic piece of trash who can't make actual valid criticisms.
Again, we're not doing so hot right now. I guess I didn't say it, but making anti-SJW content is pathetic. It was bad back then, and it is doubly awful now because we all know that this is just stupid. He explains that like social justice warrior is a horrible type of person. These are awful people who are constantly on their moral high horse, people who like hold people to these impossible standards and this, that, the other. And while there are definitely people like this who exist, I just find it quite interesting how the term SJW gets applied to people who are usually just saying things like, oh, hey, don't say slurs. Oh, maybe you shouldn't treat marginalized people as less than. If you think the people doing this need the same level of being made fun of as actual racists, you have completely lost the plot. Anyway, my next point was that
yeah, from what we saw, that goth girl was just incredibly fucking reasonable. Like, obviously, I've not watched the whole episode. I'm sure maybe that they were financially irresponsible or there was some bad shit going on there. But then that kid who's like whose son he was making or daughter or whatever, whose child he was making fun of as well. It wasn't SJW behavior from her to be like, could you maybe not say that about my fucking kid? It's not SJW. That's just being a normal human being. Also, actual full-blown SJWs that are like really obnoxious and shit, no one takes them seriously anymore. Like, you don't need to actually you don't need to make a career out of like debunking them or whatever, because no one fucking cares about them. You're just going after reasonable people and calling them SJWs.
He was being weird about pronouns by purposely showcasing people using alternative pronouns in the beginning of his video. That way his audience was predisposed to disliking this person. And Caleb's response to this is actually amazing. And by the way, if you want to see the expanded version of any of my arguments that I'm talking about here, you can just go back and watch the last video. Again, it's all there. It's explained in more detail. I'm not actually just going off of vibes. I am showing the things I'm talking about.
Do we respect pronouns?
Absolutely.
On the show, I've made mistakes, but dude, we were fucking researching your pronouns because I thought you were a woman because I didn't hear you speak first. So just based on your face, we respect pronouns. What are you fucking talking about?
Oh, the dangers of being a beautiful man. Now you've got proof in the wild. I just walked through this earth and people are like, you are too beautiful to actually exist. You must be a woman. Nah, I'm just pretty. But listen, my point wasn't that Caleb has ever misgendered anybody, because if that happened, I don't know. My point was exactly what I said in my video, which has not actually.
I often have that problem, by the way. Everyone thinking that I'm a beautiful woman. Unfortunately, not true, but yeah, I do have that issue. So I feel your pain here, Caleb.
Been contradicted here in any meaningful way. So let's just move on. Next, I accuse him of leaning on homophobia as well, which he said can't be the case because
we don't hate gay people. We have some of too many gays working in this company. No, that's a joke again. You read a title that is outrageous and silly and you say I'm homophobic? You say I'm sexist? No, you're fucking retarded. That's the only real thing here.
Ooh, all right. Whipping out our first slur. Let's go. Or let's not go, because this is just actually really tiring. The longer this goes on, I just feel like the less effort I actually have to put into responding to this. I have gay people working for me as an unironic response to homophobia accusations. But just wait, because later he's going to do the same thing with racism and be like, oh, actually, I know black people. If you think I'm kidding, you're in for a ride. So I really do love how thus far, not even one thing I said has been contradicted. Not one. If you think I'm leaving out context, because trust, I am leaving out vast swaths of this live stream, you are free to try to get through it. Whether you will do so with your brain cells intact remains to be seen. And by the way, seeing how he just used the R word to describe me for some reason, that was one of my points as well. Hey, being ableist isn't cool. Using this word all the time isn't great. At one point, he was calling a woman's autistic daughter the R slur, and so this is what he says.
Except for an outrageous moment that she consented to. I talked to her about it before we started filming. You don't know anything. You're offended on behalf of someone who is not offended.
I'm going to give a stupid metaphor because Caleb is a stupid person. So I don't even feel like I can talk about this smart anymore. Let's say you have someone on your show and you both agree, okay, we're going to go whack a random person with a stick. When I show up later making a YouTube video called Caleb Hammer should probably stop whacking random people with sticks, I don't actually think you get to say, well, the person I invited to whack people with me was a consenting adult, so you don't know anything. Using slurs.
Also, there's no way the parent did not consent to you calling her child the R word. That's fucking ridiculous. That's a lie. They're lying. It's a lie. He's lying. That didn't fucking happen. No parent would ever do that. You fucking taking the piss. Like, it's one thing to like use the R word, but it's a completely different thing to call someone's child the R word as an insult. That's a different level of that is actual ableism, that. And that is a grossly offensive use of that fucking word. It's not a word I use very much. It's not a word I don't like the word. It's like, yeah, it's probably a word that we should all aim not to use as much. But like, especially in that fucking context, Jesus Christ, dude, like, it's indefensible. Only a terrible parent would do that. Yeah, and terrible parents exist, but the fact that they were trying to like defend the kid, there's no way that they can. There's video footage of them not consenting to calling the kid that. So what the fuck?
And y'all were literally using it to describe an actual human being. Are you serious right now? Same applies to the misogyny, the homophobia, everything that we've covered so far. Again, has nothing to do with your guests. It's like, it has something to do with your guests. It's still cringe to watch you sit around and be creepy and sexist and misogynist to real human beings, but their consent is a minor point in this larger argument of you pandering to people who want to see this content. And speaking of just difficult watches, the next thing I talked about was just how icky he is when it comes to many of the guests who are women talking about their bodies. I made the bold claim that actually it's super weird to, within the first minute of meeting somebody, mention their boobs. But you know what? Caleb was like, nah, fam.
Welcome to content. Dude, I'm literally making content. What do you think you're doing? You're over-sensationalizing this for content. That's what I was doing there. Do you not know how YouTube works? Why is it up to him for what's appropriate?
I didn't know that he was the appropriate police. Show me your badge.
I gotta say,
yeah, but women aren't content. You can't just bring women on and fucking bully them for that's a self-report there. That's really shitty, dude. It's like if I was making a video on Hailey Beck, for example, and within the first minute I was like, oh, Hailey Beck's a predator, but you can tell because her tits are saggy and she's fucking really ugly, so this is like really horrible. It's like, I can't then back that up. But, oh, by the way, I don't think any of that's true, and I don't actually mean any of that. I was just using that as like an example. I couldn't then defend myself by going, well, it's content. It's YouTube, man. You have to say shit like that about women. Because it's content. I need to get views or whatever. If the only way you can get views, if the only way people will actually watch your videos or support you is if you speak that way about women within 1 minute of fucking meeting them, then that's a real problem with your career and audience. You need to sort your fucking self out.
though, if Caleb is the dumbest person alive, whoever that is with the pink hair, strong candidate for second place. Anyway, much of this is him explaining, oh, D'Angelo, like me talking to people isn't the first time I'm actually meeting them. We have, again, this onboarding process they refer to. We do a lot of vetting, etc. And to that, I say nothing because it's still creepy to talk about people's bodies this way, bro. Especially in content for other people who, again, are clicking in because on some level they want to see this. Anyway, I would say right around here is where the live stream started breaking down. It just started devolving it to combat my assertion that despite being so very stupid, as I'm sure you're saying even in this video, Caleb is still harmful, and that's why I'm calling this stuff out.
Look through our email, look through our socials. We've had over 50,000 people minimum at this point that have changed their financial lives in the last 4 years because we've done the show. You've never positively impacted someone's life other than entertainment once. Fuck you. You have no
Change their financial. To be fair, I like that he doesn't specify change their financial lives in a positive manner. I would argue that spending $1,000 on this fucking course has probably changed their financial lives for the worse. So he's not technically lying there, but, you know.
No moral ground to stand on. None.
And I think after this, he sort of realized that the vast majority of things that I was saying in my video can't really be argued against because I wasn't wrong. So they just, I don't know, the three of them just started going off of vibes, slowly backing away from making any sort of attempt at rebuttal and just doubling down on the same things they've been saying the entire show.
I don't know how to react to this anymore. It's the same thing over and over again now.
And he hasn't made a single good point.
No, he doesn't. Anything he tries to, it's so uninformed of what actually happens here. First of all, why is it up to you to determine what the show is? Like, make your own show.
That was his response to, oh, hey, it's pretty stupid to try to shame people in open relationships. All you have to do is take any point that I say and say, actually, that's not a good point. And where do we go from here? I guess you win. Okay, great. And that would be a little bit less serious if...
And also, even if you disagree, even if you really hate what D'Angelo's saying there, saying it's silly to take the piss out of open relationships or whatever, like a good faith argument would be like, I personally don't see it that way. You know what I mean? Then it would be like, well, as much as I disagree with you, it's very hard to be angry at you for that. You know? But instead of saying, who are you to decide what the show is about just because he has a very reasonable opinion, it's like, well, go fuck yourself. You're just a fool. And I know for real, like, because he's not monogamous by any means. This guy sleeps around. He's looking for hookups constantly. He's a fucking man whore. He's a fuckboy. You don't have the right to take the piss out of open relationships. He probably exclusively hooks up with people who are fans of his content or who are with him because he has, like, money and status. And he's, like, actively searching them out. He's got fucking oil, and it's like, you can't fucking take the piss out of open relationships when you're that much of a stupid, pathetic fucking man whore.
I was just making, I don't know, nonsensical points that don't matter. But when I'm saying things like, oh, hey, you're doing something racist on your show, and your response is to call a black person on the phone.
I was just accused by a man that I am probably the most racist man out there.
Which he is lighter than you, Robert.
Which, by the way, I will say, if anyone is willing to call me on my shit because he knows, like, it's like nothing bad will ever happen, Robert will always call me the fuck out. Robert, am I racist?
No, not racist.
Okay, well, thank you, Robert.
Are y'all starting to see why I said this reminds me of the ukulele apology in terms of disconnect from reality? This is a little subtler. It's a little less out there from the surface, but holy moly, this is unhinged. And I think
no, it's not. D'Angelo, don't you understand that Caleb Hammer's friend is representative of all black people? Like, my opinion, I thought he was expressing some racism, but now that I've heard Caleb's friend, I'm actually, I'm with him now. You know, I think Caleb Hammer's in the right. D'Angelo, can you shut your black ass down? Shut your black ass up. We listen and we learn to the black man who is allegedly darker than us. You know what I mean? To all the black people in chat, by the way, I'm glad that we've all come to agree with Caleb Hammer's alleged very dark-skinned friend.
What almost makes this comical is I was saying not to mock Vietnamese people's accents. Also, him saying that I said that he's the most racist person out there. I didn't say that. Caleb's not the most anything out there.
I'm black and I decided that he's not racist. Yes, okay, good. I'm glad chat is healing.
I think that's what's so incredible to me about his content being as popular as it is. You're not the funniest. I'm sorry, we don't need to sit here and just start dragging him. I think he's doing great doing that himself in this live stream. Now, this part's really funny. I point out in my video that so much of what Caleb does with his guests is projecting, or at least to my untrained eye, comes across as projecting to many of the people watching it. And Caleb has the brilliant response of, no, actually, you're projecting.
Is that always been doing this entire conversation? You've concluded that I'm racist, sexist, homophobic, you name it. That is literally your entire content. You're drawing conclusions about things you literally know nothing about. You don't know me, you don't know our content, you don't know our guests, you don't know the process. Shut the fuck up. That is all you do.
It's crazy to say this about a video that is live. It is live online. Anybody on the internet can go look and see what I said. This is not like a reality-based interpretation of events. This is like Caleb's reality, which I would not want to live in, man. I said it before in my last video. You could not pay me. You could not pay me. And speaking of like fake reality, fake everything, one of my main points was that if you go to Caleb's earlier content, this nasty personality, he does not talk to people like this. He's not acting like this constantly in all of his videos. It's forced. And Caleb says, my assertion that he's faking a personality for views is worth suing over.
Tyler, am I me or am I fakey? You're very real.
Yeah. What you see is what you get. Yeah, you're pretty
fuck off, D'Angelo. Sorry, D'Angelo. I just interrupted a black man. Tyler, please finish.
No, I'll say the same things though. Yeah, have fun in hell for interrupting him.
Literal liar. And actually, that's a lie against our business. I could sue you for that. And maybe I will. I have unlimited money.
Do it. He's looking for it.
I could sue you because that's actually defamation against me and my business. Saying that this whole thing is fake. I could sue you, and I have the best lawyers.
No, you can't. You couldn't sue him. You couldn't. This guy doesn't know what a lawsuit is. He's never sued someone in his fucking life. You can't sue someone for saying their videos are fake. Especially because he was like, maybe it might be fake. He didn't even say it definitively. You couldn't sue anyone for that shit. He's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
Business. You would be so fucked.
I suppose there's not much room in Caleb's head for multiple thoughts, and so he got very fixated on this idea. Once it pops up into his head, oh, maybe I could sue this guy, he starts framing the rest of this response as, oh, you made a bad point and you're wrong and the guest consented and I'm going to sue you. And when you mix that with just his grandiosity, and listen, I am a grandiose person for sure. I'll stop and wax poetic about my own good qualities any day. But at the very least, holy God, at least my content doesn't come across like this. This is his reaction to me saying he sold out his viewers for just cashing in the misogyny bucks.
Dude, I can retire tomorrow. I'm sorry. No, I want to keep working for two reasons. One, I enjoy it. I'll be so fucking bored if I don't. Two, I just want to just fire everyone.
Jesse, I'm black and gay and trans. I declare Hammer the #1 lover of us for real. Jesus, you're like mega oppressed. I'm actually darker than you and D'Angelo too, so trust me, bro. Jesus, and you're darker than us. You're living life on ultra hard mode, brother. Jesus. Thanks for joining the stream, fam.
Like, that wouldn't be very good. But dude, I have more money than you'll ever have. And again, that's not a fucking brag. I'm sorry. It's really not. But it is true. It is true. And I could be charged more.
I'm not charging people like $1,000 for an online course. I'm not posting like 3,000 videos on one channel, taking every single thing I do and splitting it up into 50,000 shorts and a repost for members and this, that, the other. No wonder you're making so much money, Caleb. You are spamming. I personally think like, oh, I don't have to sell anyone out because I'm already super rich is hilarious. You're rich like this because you've been sold out, honestly. Very much proving my point, but that's okay. This next one really took me out. When I point out that his mods are deleting criticism all the time, which is a very, very common complaint when it comes to people talking about Caleb Hammer, he decides to lecture me on why this is the case.
So this is what adults have to do in content creators. You know this because you probably receive a lot of criticism. There is a lot of criticism and you have to parse through what's valid and invalid, and things snowball like crazy. If it's valid criticism, you respond to it behind the scenes by making things better. But if it's invalid criticism, you don't actually
I'm brown, can I insert a half vote? No, there's no voting. This is not a democracy. This is autocratic. Caleb Hammer's friend said that he's not racist, so it's over. There's no voting. That means the jury's out there, you know, the verdict has been decided. You can't vote on that. That's what's happened. That's the truth now.
to think about it, and you just don't let it snowball.
Yes, I have received a lot of criticism. And you know what I've never had to do?
No, this isn't Danky's tyranny. This is Caleb Hammer's black friend's tyranny. Why can't you guys get that through your thick fucking skulls?
Delete it or have anybody delete it for me. And yet I find myself coming out on top of every bit of criticism that's ever been lobbed my way. Much of it valid, much of it invalid. The fact that the moment somebody has something to say about you, you either try to shut it down aggressively like this, threatening to sue me, or you just successfully shut it down by having it deleted. We're not playing the same game here. Also, if you notice my tone in this video, just being kind of like somewhat lighthearted about this and trying to chill, it's not the easiest thing to do in a video where Caleb is being racist and calling me slurs. Actually, he used the R word 42 times. I have a transcript. I control F. This is actually excruciating. Anyway, as for my assertion that the people he sold his original audience out for include a bunch of bigots, he says
every left wing or woman or trans or whatever minority that loves financial audit, you're all bigots apparently, according to D'Angelo, who is the authority figure on what people are allowed to think.
Your audience is racist. You actually do have the most racist audience that I've dealt with in my time on YouTube. I pissed off Shane Dawson fans, Cody Coase fans. Some of them are really mad at me at one point. Your audience is a mess.
How can you joke about D'Angelo Wallace not being the representative for everyone who's like oppressed or part of a minority group, but then unironically claim that your friend who's black is representative of all black people and prove that you're not racist? It's like extreme hypocrisy.
Whatever people of color or women or various marginalized minority, this does not change the fact that over the past couple of days, I've seen some of the most heinous stuff. And I love how this is the same argument the third time, right? I say one thing and he's like, oh, well, here's one person who likes me, so that can't be true. I say another thing and you're like, well, here's one black person, so that can't be true. I say you're pandering to bigots. And he's like, well, look, maybe you should have thought this through a little bit before just going live while you were clearly still like pissed. As per my assertion that he's not even really helping his guests at this point, which is kind of obvious. You just have to watch the content and see it's so much more entertainment based than education. Caleb says this.
Our classes have helped lots of people. 50,000 comments, emails, DMs over the last 4 years of people changing their life because of the show. And again, the average guest has paid off 25,000 hours in 12 months. Not helping people anymore. Just because we have fun and we do some slap doesn't mean there's no help.
That's awesome for the people who have been helped, but truly does not move my needle a little bit on my opinion that you're still not helping people who come onto your show, and your content as it exists currently is not helpful for people. Anything helpful you have to say about finance, you have already shared on your channel probably within the first year of you doing YouTube. Oh, and speaking of that $1,000 course, in my original video, I said I thought it was predatory to take people who are struggling with their finances and be like, oh, you can pay me $1,000 and we'll help you fix this. But
look at any other program that is on the same level. Welcome to the marketplace. Also, do you know how expensive it is to make and maintain? You have no idea what our payroll is. Listen, I'm not promising I'm suing you, but I'm promising I'm talking to my lawyers about suing you. You can't just say it's a scam. You never took it. But you saying that in front of thousands of people, buddy, I'm going to sue you. It is objectively not a scam. We put a lot of effort and a lot of research and worked with a lot of experts on those. You're done. And also, if it's a scam, no, everyone can get a refund if they just ask.
I didn't say it was a scam. I really didn't. I still don't believe it's a scam. I believe exactly what I said. The idea of us being in court and they're like, okay, so he's suing you for saying his course is a scam. And then I'm just like, great, let's watch this 4-hour stream where I never said that. It's a hilarious picture, but obviously that was never a reality, which is why I wasn't concerned about being sued in the first place, despite his crying, kicking, and screaming. Besides,
I guess it depends on what your definition of scam is. It's definitely it's probably a really shit course. I'd love to have a look maybe on another stream about what the course actually is and people who have done it and like what their experiences are with it. Maybe I'll even buy it. Maybe. If I get enough requests for it.
This course, he also offers an app.
But then bear in mind, I would be giving him $1,000 just for everyone who, backs that.
Which was terrible and had some of the worst reviews I've ever seen on the Android store. And to this, he says,
it sucked. Our first 6 months were bad. And it was a big learning experience. The app is very good right now. And then in a couple weeks when we launch 6.0, that our development team built from the ground up millions of dollars is going to be incredible. Incredible in the marketplace of apps.
Has anybody told you that you remind them of Donald Trump? See, now I'm pulling a Caleb Hammer. I'm not actually responding to what he said. This is just a straw man, but marketplace of apps. Okay, Caleb. That being said, okay, so you haven't fixed the app yet. Meaning I was right in pointing out that in its current version, it's not a good product. It's funny. I think if you had like maybe watched the edited version of my video before hopping on the live, you might have realized that there was very little for you to actually say. Anyway, we're finally getting to the end of this. Yes, believe it or not, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. One of the most important points in my video was that Caleb Hammer does not seem to understand the concept of consent. Not just talking about, oh, we all consented to call people's slurs together, so it's okay. I went over an allegation of somebody saying that he touched them and it was unwanted. And Caleb's response initially was like, oh, well, I recorded me getting consent. And I was saying that does not matter at all. Actually, recorded consent doesn't mean somebody was consenting to everything that you're doing, right? And Caleb says this.
Getting consent is not enough anymore?
I think where he's going is that if somebody gives you consent, they can take it away.
That's like before and after, D'Angelo, you fucking weirdo. Why cover the shit you're talking about when you're trying to destroy someone's life?
Wait, what did he say? Where he's going is that if someone gives you consent, they can take it away. She says that so like dismissively, but like that's the truth. That's the truth. Also, recorded consent does not mean recorded consent for fucking everything.
I think where he's going is that if somebody gives you consent, they can take it away.
Let's
I
make it
think
before
that's
and after, D'Angelo.
I got it before and after.
Oh, you fucking weirdo. Why cover the shit you're talking about when you're trying to destroy someone's life? Dude, you're an asshole. You're a bad person. She tried to make it sound like I fucking raped her for trying to put my hand on her leg.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. She didn't make it sound like you raped her. She absolutely did not. Why are you so hell-bent on rape? This is ridiculous.
Angelo, you don't understand the impact of the words you have. You can destroy people's lives and it is not funny. This is why no
This guy thinks about rape more than actual rape victims. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, brother. Every criticism he ever gets, he just like he takes as he perceives as like a rape allegation.
one believes allegations anymore because of people like you. He said Cody Co was wrong for not responding, and now he's freaking out for me for responding.
It's really simple, guys. Somebody says I didn't consent to something. You can burn yourself out, bend over backwards, try to tear the stars from the sky, trying to prove that they did. It doesn't matter. I wasn't acting like, oh, Caleb Hammer needs to be deplatformed. I was just saying that you hate women because you get called out by women. Actually, more frequently than that one post. We're gonna get to that in a second. Anyway, the last point I made in my video, the ultimate conclusion I left with was that even some of his current viewers are just tired of him constantly going after the worst people, and it's not even good content at this point.
You can't say that. You get no views. We do. Fuck you. You're nothing. How are you the owner of all content on the internet? Determine what is good and bad. 3, 2, 1.
This show is not for you, and that's okay.
Die. Not actually. Minecraft. No, just fucking. I'm losing my mind. D'Angelo, I love you. You're fine. I'm gonna see you.
Not the first person who's told me to die, but maybe the first person with 3 million subscribers who told me to die during a live stream and then immediately tried to play it off as a joke. Like, I am so chill right now because I did all the normal things of like, oh, let me go to sleep first. Let me wake up. Let me focus on some other things and collect my response to this. But like, let's anyway, from there, you get this amazing stream outro.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. You have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You didn't research anything. You're a performative weirdo. You are not the moral arbiter of the world. You do not get to decide what is good content. You are nothing. You're pathetic. You've never contributed to the world. We have real results, real lives, 50,000 people. Every guest that's been on the show. 25,000 hours in 12 months. You've done nothing. You'll never be remembered for anything. You're pathetic. You are 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We've all moved on. No normal person cares. And ladies and gentlemen, say it with me one last time.
This show is not for you, and that's okay.
See you in court, bitch.
Bye.
I need y'all to understand. I think I've only included like thus far about 7-ish minutes of him talking cumulatively, but the stream went on for more than 4 hours and 7 minutes. What was he doing in that 4 hours? Either repeating his points, drilling down into unnecessary detail on each point. He would get stuck on every single argument for so long. It made this video so hard to like even try to respond to. But like, he was also just.
Why is he so pissed? Because he's pissed. Like, he's pissed because he's been clocked. He's ultra successful. He didn't need to make a video on this. He could have just completely ignored this and it would have been fine. But he covered it because I think it genuinely got to him. And it probably got to him because he knows a lot of it is true.
Being unhinged the entire time. I cut out so many parts that just sounded like this.
I think you know this because everyone around you tells you you're a good person. You are a bad person.
I just feel like
you are a negative force in this world. You fucking stupid pig.
Oh, when he said you are a negative and then sort of stuttered a little bit. Well, I'm just gonna say, mate, I got a little worried there. I feel like we heard a little bit of a Freudian slip.
It just sounded like this.
I think you know this because everyone around you tells you you're a good person. You are a bad person.
I just feel like
you are a negative force in this.
No, guys, look, I'm just saying there was a little something there. There was a little something there. Let me get that. Let me normal speed. Let me normal speed that.
You're a good person. You are a bad person.
I just feel like that's
you are a negative.
Yo, all right. We're gonna move on. We're gonna keep it playing. That's wild, yo.
Negative force in this world. You fucking stupid piece of over sensationalizing shit. You have done no research. You have ruined your career. What is wrong with you?
Shit as well. I'm just saying, shit is a mic because obviously poo is also very commonly used against flirt. But I'm just saying, shit could be. Just bear that in mind too.
Dude, you are a broken individual. You have no ability to actually understand what people are saying. People like this actually need to be held accountable for the fact that they just say things and then they.
Sorry, I forget. He does have a black friend. My bad. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Cat Dab, for the membership.
And there's no consequences. You're a bad person, D'Angelo. That is an actual lie.
Yeah, I remember earlier when I was talking about projection.
This video is discredited all of your previous work because now we know you don't research and you just virtue signal about everything, meaning and nothing you say and everything should be questioned that you've ever said. This video has confirmed that. Because this is really bad. This is really bad, man.
How much research does it take to call a spade a spade? He seems to be really hung up on the fact that I was not making a video essay. I was just on a stream saying, oh, this is bad. And it's kind of a point in the larger trend of bad things I've been talking about. So I want to get into it. He doesn't seem too familiar with me. So it's okay if he didn't know this going in. But this is my third channel. I'm not on my main channel. I'm not.
Maybe he's annoyed that you didn't deem him like relevant enough to do a whole main channel video on him. Maybe he's like sad that all he got was the sloppy live channel.
Even on the second channel I made, truly, the only point of the content here is just for me to yap and for people to watch it if they find it interesting. I wasn't streaming thinking your career was going to end. Surface level commentary because what you're doing is obvious. You are literally a bigot. I'm not.
Thank you very much for the membership, NBND Envy.
Wrong about these things. You are bigoted in this video.
It's a really cool name. Fucking hell. Really rolls off the tongue.
Ignoring my criticisms because I'm part of the community or whatever.
When people use like the word misogynist from your community, if I'm grouping you wrong, I'm sorry, but what I'm assuming is you guys just weaponize that word. You don't actually mean it. And it's impossible for anyone to prove they're not.
First of all, what community? To Caleb's knowledge, I wasn't part of any community, which I think is hilarious. I'll help you out. Yes, I am non-binary. I'm a non-binary man. I use he, him pronouns exclusively to look at somebody and assume, oh, you must be queer. So
thank you very much for the membership, YouTube handle name.
I'm not going to listen to anything you're saying. Buddy, you're bigoted. Where do we go from here? You actually did this. My sight. You did this from jump before I had ever opened my mouth.
It should probably be very sane and normal. Then I looked at them and can we see that? I'm not expecting very much.
What did you glean from a simple picture of me? I'm black. Okay. Why would that lower your expectations? I wear weird clothes. It has nothing to do with anything. I'm gender non-conforming. Why would these be reasons to count me out? Caleb, I never looked at your content, saw the outside of you and said, I'm going to
Yeah, I mean, D'Angelo looks like a pretty normal bloke, to be honest. Like, he doesn't even look particular. He obviously there's like altness there, but he doesn't look like so alt that it would adjust your opinion on someone. But like, he looks like a barely normal person. Thank you very much for the membership. Hello, goodbye, 6767.
Actually, I did. I went to this man's TikTok and I scrolled through all of his thumbnails and saw him in these pictures sitting next to these women showing like, oh, I bet this content is bigoted. But the reason I was able to do that was the framing. I didn't do this because of who you are. Meanwhile, you turn around and you think you're doing the same thing to me, but the only crime I committed was being not what you think I should be. It's kind of interesting. You suck really bad. And nothing you said in the 4-hour live stream has disproven that. If anything, you just proved so many of my points. Dare I say every point? So, wow, the video is no longer called I'm suing D'Angelo, but it is called D'Angelo Wallace is trying to cancel me. Oh, but I proved him wrong. You wouldn't be able to define the word cancel if your life depended on it. He comes back and pins a comment and says, I'm sure D'Angelo is a good guy in general, and I know the internet slop community can get pretty intense, but if you're from his community, please listen. I know I can likely be more over the top and say words you don't like, but I hope you're willing to actually hear my responses to the criticisms he gave, so you acknowledge that I was giving criticism and not just trying to cancel you. Interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody who follows me would actually be able to make a 3 or 4 hour video. I was barely able to make a 3 or 4 hour video. You know what? Let me be honest about this. I had to read it. That's the only way I got. I could not listen to him speak for 4 hours because it was so soul draining. I had to be like, you know what? Let me just get the transcription of this and pretend it's like a Substack article. That way I can survive the editing of this, get it out quickly and move on with my life. Ain't nobody finna watch that, Caleb. But I still suggest that people do. If they really want to see the unedited versions of his live points, I'm not misrepresenting him because the original video is still there. It's still online. You can go see what he said and see whether or not my interpretation of it was fair. Anyway, he says, and no, I don't sue for criticism, as people are saying. That would be every day of my life if so. But when you claim that I do not provide any benefits to our guests, allude that our products are scams, allude. Oh, see, he's realizing I never said the products were a scam. Backtracking is wild, y'all. And say flat out that I am racist, homophobe, transphobia, and sexist. That's where the actual legal troubles can happen. No, they can't. You were never actually going to do anything. I had so many people texting me like, oh, D'Angelo, he's going to sue you. He's going to sue you. I went to sleep. I was like, he's not going to do anything. Not even because I know too much about legal whatever mumbo jumbo. I know this personality type. I was like, he's just crying because I dared criticize him. He says, a lawsuit tends to just give another creator more drama to react to. So it's more than likely nothing will happen. But these are serious things to discuss when creators make claims such as these. And you know that D'Angelo...
My bad. Sorry, I missed your membership. I love crack. 420. Thank you very much.
Has destroyed people's careers, some rightfully and some unrightful. So ask yourself, how would you react? Okay, whose career have I destroyed? I would actually like to hear. Hold on. Because I don't usually do this. Shane Dawson? Nope, he's still here. Shane Dawsoning it up. Y'all think I destroyed Cody Ko's career? Wow, here's Cody Ko uploading more videos than I have been uploading recently. That's
Cody Ko's been doing amazingly, actually. Very interesting to watch. It's funny because D'Angelo is not even that crazy woke. It takes a very obvious, but Caleb Hammer sees a black person and goes SJW. Yeah, I think low key that's what it is. Like if he was white and didn't have the septum theory or anything, or the septum piercing or whatever the fuck, he probably wouldn't be. To be fair, maybe he just labels everyone who criticizes him an SJW. Although I don't know how woke D'Angelo is. I actually haven't watched much of his content.
Crazy. Because here's the thing. I didn't commit statutory rape, right? I didn't don blackface or groom minors. Cody Ko was accused of committing statutory rape. And I made a video saying Cody Ko was accused of committing statutory rape.
The show is not for you, and that's okay. He thought he ate with that one. Yeah, especially because, like, clearly you don't think it's okay. You've made a whole fucking 4-hour podcast about it.
And many people in the commentary community are ignoring it because it's uncomfortable to talk about. If that is me destroying someone's career rightfully or unrightfully, it's just not. I have no way of really responding to that. That's inaccurate. And to kind of just get back into Caleb's point, how would you react? Caleb, I wouldn't react. If some dude made a 90-minute portion of his live stream saying, I don't like D'Angelo, you really think I'm going to grab my friends, have them sit around with me so we can destroy this guy? That is unhinged. You got this comment. Someone said, I wonder then, being a thick-skinned Texan myself, if you and D'Angelo could have a public-facing conversation, 2 adult men around the same age, nah. He is 30. Caleb is old. I know that I'm 27. So unfortunately, I've lost my right to call people who are 30 old. We are around the same age. But bro, you are so old to be acting like this. Let's be real right now. Anyways, 2 adult men around the same age, calmly expressing thoughts and concerns like grown-ups. And Caleb says, I'd be down. I DM'd him today to where did you DM me? I don't use social media. I didn't see it. That was never gonna happen. Every few months, I remember I have an Instagram account, and so I will post a picture there. I'm wondering if maybe that's what that DM is, but okay, let's just keep going. I DM'd him today to have a genuine, productive convo now that we've cooled off. We will see if he's interested in that or only content.
Now that we've cooled off, as though D'Angelo was being like angry or shouting at any point there. That's so funny.
To chat to him and get his perspective and give him mine as well. My perspective is that you're racist and I'm black. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to sit in a room with you. I don't want to give you the time of day. I've seen this tactic before. This is a part where you're going to be like, oh, see, D'Angelo is intolerant. Oh, see, D'Angelo claiming to be part of the tolerant left or whatever you want to say. Now he doesn't want to talk to me. You're right. I am deeply intolerant of you, Caleb Hammer. We're not going to have a conversation. We're not going to kumbaya. We're not going to kiki. This don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And this is also how I know that on some level, you must have believed what you were saying in your live stream, that you think I don't believe anything I say in my videos. It's all because I know people agree with me, or I just have to have the right opinion and virtue signal, as you say. But I meant every word, unlike you.
People are surprised that D'Angelo's 27. They're saying he looks younger and they're saying black don't crack. But that's bullshit, because every time I say I'm 22, you guys are like, what? I thought you were 27. So maybe if me and D'Angelo swapped ages but kept our appearances the exact fucking same, it wouldn't get as much of a reaction. I don't know. He looks 27 in my opinion.
I'm not grifting. I'm not lying. I'm not faking anything in my content. If I said all these awful things, it's because I believe them about you. Why would we ever talk to each other in a public-facing conversation? If you want to have me on and I can walk you through the steps of deleting your channel and that could be your last video, sure, I'm down. I will look at my schedule. We can.
Fuck, I don't know actually. Like if he said he was 20, I probably would believe him.
arrange that. But beyond that, dude, go kick rocks. I can't stress this enough. You suck really bad. And I would prefer never to think about you again. It's funny how I'm like, oh, go kick rocks. You suck. I don't want to talk. And his fans are going to be like, oh, wow, D'Angelo, such a baby, such a baby. Meanwhile, your fave was on there crashing out. Your fave was on there fighting for his life, trying to disprove even a single point that I had to call me the R slur 40 times. This is hilarious. Anyway, someone asks him, you suing or nah? And he says, likely not worth the time or energy. I get worked up easy. So his reasons for not suing me, he doesn't want to give me more drama to react to. It's not worth his time or energy. Caleb, the reason you're not suing me is because you'd be laughed out of court. I know that's what your lawyers told you. You said you were going to call them on Monday. You didn't need to call them. Nobody would ever pay attention to this in any serious context. I am an internet commentator, and I said your videos were bad, and you threatened to sue me. Anyway, his sort of last word-ish-esque thing that I pulled from Reddit was him saying, here's the thing. I put a lot of care, time, and even money into trying to make the best educational resources we could. Okay, he cares a lot about his audience, and he's doing this for the love of the game. So when I'm told I'm sexist, racist, transphobic, or homophobic to them, or in general, I take that personally. I love every single guest that has come on. Yes, we make over-the-top titles and thumbnails that lean into crude humor, and I roast the heck out of people and say bad words. So not only do we get consent 5 times before we do, they literally ask for it. This is probably the closest he's coming to like a decent response. It's still really stupid. Hey, you're putting out content that is spreading harmful narratives, and you're leaning into that to profit. Oh, okay, well, the people in the video said it was okay. It doesn't make any sense, but like, dude, imagine if you had just put this out first and not done the whole 4-hour live stream, we wouldn't even be here. And I wouldn't be about to show your pedophile allegations that people were talking about, which I didn't even know. But you kicked up such a storm, so much dust that everybody started being like, hey, we've been trying to talk about Caleb Hammer for a while now. There's some deeper stuff here. While I was streaming, I saw a couple people say, what about the pedo allegations? And I couldn't really respond to that because I didn't know what they were talking about. But let's get serious for a second. Okay, hey, actually think that you probably backed down with the lawsuit stuff because you might have realized who I am or what I've been known for saying on the internet about the people I've talked about. And you preemptively trying to reach out to me was probably so I didn't turn the video into this.
When I make jokes, a bunch of jokes with other people making a bunch of rage-baiting jokes in a group chat from like a decade ago.
So I was like, okay, what jokes are we talking about here? You were in live chats. I guess this user Superho Diddly Ho would be Caleb screenshotting pictures of people saying he's hot, is he gay, please, being told he's 16. And no,
we've seen all this, but I do want to know what D'Angelo says about it. So we will keep it playing.
About, oh, but the age of consent is...
Thank you. Please make a new video about fibs because new stuff came out proving you wrong. We'll have a look at the Pooh Boy video after.
16. By the way, y'all are saying like, oh, this is from a decade ago. No, it wasn't. 8 years ago. It's not a decade ago. You're 23 years old talking about kids like this. I would like to personally stick my penis in a hole of his. Any hole will do. Thank you. Being told, Caleb, dude, the person you're talking about is like 14. Caleb saying, nah, he's actually probably older than that. If it's legal to be with 17-year-olds there, it's legal here. Being told, Caleb, you're 23. This is gross. Not really. Well, I'm 50 and I find a sexy 21-year-old and I could be a sugar daddy. I will do it, or her sugar daddy. By the way, I already know I'm going to get the worst human beings you've ever known in my comments talking about actually being 23 and making sexual comments about 14-year-olds wouldn't be pedophilia because technically don't get me banned off YouTube. Because what I want to say to you, I can't even say to you. People call these the pedo accusations and it's pretty obvious why. You can call it what you want. I'm just telling you, why are you a grown man in here talking about, yeah, let's do all these things to these kids? It goes on and on and on. Both my grandparents are 10 years apart.
Yeah, it's not pedophilia. I don't think it is pedophilia. Like, it is very obviously a very inappropriate and edgy joke, but to call it pedophilia, you would actually need to genuinely believe that he's being honest in his intent to actually engage in sexual intercourse with this 16-year-old, which I wouldn't personally be comfortable saying. It does seem like a very edgy, out-of-pocket joke. Especially because he's very edgy and fucking unhinged in his podcast and that. I can just imagine him making a really shitty joke.
All right, 6 years is nothing. I would shove that, you know what, right down his throat where it belongs. Being told it's something if they're underage. Well, anyone under 16...
It's really fucking bad, though. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's fucking horrible.
Believe it or not, 17 is not under 16. And here's the part where I know I'm going to get people saying, well, D'Angelo, like, you're trying to ruin his career. You're doing the thing. I'm not trying to ruin his career. I'm not even suggesting that he broke the law. Caleb himself says if something is not against the law, there would be no trouble. This is literally like Shane Dawson. Like, why are we acting like this was some sort of norm for jokes in 2018? Again, I want to show you his response.
When, when I make jokes.
This is vile stuff. By the way, you've got hella people on the internet defending this. It's almost like the jokes are not as bad as actually being a pedo, even though idiots treat it as such. Like, can we acknowledge that the jokes are pretty bad, though? Like this person who said as a parent, I see where you're coming from, but for me, it really depends on the quality of the jokes. These jokes barely even register as such. There's no setup, no real subversion of expectations. In the screenshots,
yeah, exactly. They're bang on. That Reddit comment is bang on.
Caleb sent pictures of actual kids that he claimed he thought were hot and made explicit comments about what he wanted to do with them sexually while other chat members were telling him to stop. Yes, that's what is in those screenshots. Why is there a comment section full of Reddit? Well, I'm answering my own question, even as I'm asking it. The easiest thing to do would have been to just be like, that wasn't me in those group chats. But by talking about it, he seems to have confirmed that this was in fact real. This is from a video seemingly that came out over a year ago, actually almost 2 years ago, has 140,000 views. You got people in the comments of this guy's second video about Caleb talking about someone tell D'Angelo immediately this is about to blow up. Wait, I like this comment. No, D'Angelo was supposed to do proper research himself. This is not hard to find. I would like to address that if I can. It's actually super depressing to treat every single person I talk about as some sort of possible Shane Dawson and just immerse myself in trash. I think my early content that I made was important and I'm really proud of it, but also please give me some grace to not constantly make content that makes me want to die. But I'll tell you right now, this information is online. The original post that I did include in my video as a point about Caleb's complete misunderstanding of consent. You have multiple people in the comments saying that they've had the same experience with him, saying they know people who've had the same experience with him. After my live stream, you had...
That's not surprising. There's no way that one girl is the only girl who's had this. It is definitely a routine / formula for him, no doubt.
People reaching out to me, my business email, just trying to tell me, thank you for this live stream and talking about him. He was pressuring me into doing this stuff. He was doing this that made me uncomfortable, etc. And people have been trying to say this for years. I showed you the chats. There's also a bunch of other things that people get into. I'm not going to spend the rest of the video going into these allegations bit by bit because much of my early content was really depressing for me to make. And it was almost an exercise in mental self-harm, if I'm being honest with you. My addendum, my amendment is that there's also a bunch of other things that could be talked about with Caleb Hammer. People have already made these videos. They're on the platform. You can watch those. But yeah, this guy is just like, I'm out of energy now. And I'm sorry. I wasn't even really supposed to be working yesterday. It was my day off.
Okay. Now I want to have a look at Caleb's response to all this. He put out a response on Reddit. And it doesn't seem to be too... It doesn't seem to be too long. So I guess let's have a look. Here's the thing, I put a lot of care, time, and even money into trying to make the best educational resources we could, and even more to give our guests the best possible experience and outcome they could possibly have. And that's why less than 2% of those who purchase our products request a refund, even though we give full refunds, no questions asked. It's also why the average FA guest has paid off $25,000 of bad debt in 12 months. I take their experience, privacy, and results incredibly seriously, so when someone says I don't care about our guests or treat them poorly, or our products are a scam, I get worked up, maybe a bit too worked, but, you know, me at this point, and also who I am. I love every guest we've had. Okay, a couple maybe not so much over 4 years. So when I'm told I'm sexist, racist, or transphobic, or homophobic to them in general, but you are to them, you absolutely are. I love every single guest that has come on, where you got a fucking weird way of showing it. You literally started commenting on the lady's tits 1 minute in, and then called that other girl's son, or that other girl's child the R word. That's not something you do to someone you love or have any form of respect for. We can make over-the-top titles and thumbnails that lean into crude humor. I roast the fuck out of people and say bad words. You don't roast people. You do like 8th grade level jokes. But not only do we get consent 5 times before we do, I don't think this guy knows what consent is, so I don't take him as word there at all. They literally ask for it. Oh my god, they were asking for it. Fuck me, brother. This is bollocks. I guess we're always a fan of the show, and half the time they come in with lists of over-the-top or inappropriate jokes or roasts that will be thrown towards them. In our stupid little show, haha. Well, the haha thing sort of changes things there. Now I'm on his side a bit more. I just really think we need to stop being offended on behalf of people who are not offended themselves, who make our show with no intentions, and we probably have more onboarding and better onboarding than any TV show. Yeah. People have the right to be, even if the girl herself is not offended at you, like taking the piss or talking about her tits 1 minute in, if people think that's deranged or strange behavior, you can't really criticize them for it, because it is objectively fucking strange behavior. And also, the mother did not ask for her daughter to be called the R word. And then he tries to make it all moral. You need to be repeated. The content's not for you, and that's okay. Fucking hell, dude. If part of your whole branding is telling people you want them to die, you cannot be mad when someone gives you pushback. Yeah, absolutely. If you roast people for a living, you can't complain when people have a go at you. Like, he's so mean. He's so fucking horrible, self-admittedly horrible to people on his stream. And then when someone says anything remotely bad about him back, he starts crying and doing this whole fucking... He goes and he has a fucking mental breakdown about it. It's like, if you're dishing it this badly to hundreds of people every year, almost a new person every day, making millions doing so, you can't then cry like a fucking baby when someone mildly criticizes you. It's very childish. It's very fucking childish. There's also some Papa Gut live streams. I'm not sure if these are worth watching, or if you guys want to have a look at these. They are very long, so we probably won't. We probably won't have a look at them. From what I know, I think Papa Gut is a fan of Caleb. They have like a friendly relationship, I suppose. 1 hour, 20 minutes. Maybe we can watch a little bit of it. What do you guys think? You guys think this is worth watching? Let's see. I won't stay for long if it's shit.
Should bail out the guy that beat him with the hammer. A Caleb hammer. So I just wanted to show that that's the energy he puts out there, just to add on to it. I'm not saying he deserved to die. All I'm saying is I don't think Rob Reiner did that. Just saying.
Well, okay, yeah. No, I mean, that's fucking shitty. I hate the cheering on for anyone.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty fucked up. It's pretty intense.
But I think you legit had some, we had a little fun on Twitter. And by we, I mean me. I was going a little hard. You know, I'll be honest, dude. There is something truly addicting about that engagement. There really is. And literally, after, I think I had 2 days.
What it's like to get caught up in like the pipeline of getting so frustrated with criticism coming from the left that it makes you turn right. Me personally, for my philosophy, I developed like a philosophy of like I find that to be a weakness for myself to allow that to affect me too much, which is help me stay on track. So
yeah, for sure. And that makes sense. I definitely don't know if it's pushed my political views at all, but it has made me want to dunk on those type of people.
Yeah.
Because I see through their shit now. Now that I've seen now it just makes me question every cancellation that the far left has done.
Like, after what they've done to me and after the things they've said, the most insane bullshit things. It's crazy. So those are the people that I definitely wanted to go after more. And I think there is a certain point where it's like, where you see a little more of the far right talk on like, Rumble or Kick or something like that. I don't really use those platforms.
Well,
but,
I saw a little bit in your chat, but just before. So, and just to be clear, they did. I want to be clear. I don't want to do what you were unintentionally doing before. You were showing the Jewish attack that happened in Australia, and you were talking about how like there are left wing freaks who were sitting here and they were like basically who cares, and they're being very insensitive to Jewish people. There were 3 people within like 30 seconds in your chat that were like, well, Israel is bad, or saying like, well, the Jews do control.
Yeah, the people criticizing Caleb Hammer are not far left by any means. Like, I'm not far left. I don't think D'Angelo is far left either. But I guess to him, anyone who disagrees with him is just far. They have to be so far left that it's like irrational. Thank you very much, Byte, for upgrading your membership.
The world and like pushing these insane anti-Semitic conspiracy theories in your own chat.
That is
and
insane.
if and the point that I'm saying, no, I know you didn't see it. If I was going to have that similar energy, I could highlight just those 3 people and go like, look at what's going on in Caleb's chat. He's a far right wing extremist, which I think is a similar way of what like you were doing, even if it's unintentional, where you're highlighting like extremist morons on Twitter and going like, look, this is representative of the left. And I think that's the implication people are getting, even if you don't mean it to be, because like you're an influencer. You know that like if you don't qualify everything you say, people are.
Yeah, Papa Gut's right there. Actually, he's very correct. That's something the right does a lot. Is they just they find unhinged people on the left on Twitter or X, and then label that as like the entire left wing.
Into interpretation, and that's where the dog whistle comes in. And people are.
Why wouldn't you be far left? Because far anything is fucking horrible. Like the far left is very like anti-sex work, from what I'm aware. And there's a fine line between like if you go far enough left, then you become fascist yourself as well.
Allowed to interpret it whatever way they want, and they can interpret that as an extreme right wing, extreme left wing, and that's something personally I wouldn't want in my audience. That's why I try to be careful and qualify everything that I say.
That's fair.
Thank you very much for the 20 quid. Hello, goodbye. Or $20 rather.
I definitely dropped the ball and failed on the one about the Rob Reiner, where I just took one tweet. That is 100% where I cherry picked. And Destiny called me out. You called me out. I had a lot of people calling me out. Yeah.
Well.
So I got valid hate there, and I deleted the tweet yesterday. I will say on that Australian one though, it was literally. I mean, Brandon Lindsay, you guys. It wasn't like cherry pick. I was just limited how many photos I could upload. It was like Palestinian flags in bio galore.
I'm sure
thousands of people tweeting how Troy has lost their respect and he deserves to be canceled because he said it's sad that some Jews died.
Yeah, well, I think that there's 2 big things I'd say. Is like, one, your algorithm is feeding you anti-left content, because like, and you said you're actively looking for anti-left content, but that's like what's happening. Because in the
okay, it just seems like a pretty standard conversation. I don't think it's worth watching too much. So I'm not going to have any strong opinions about it, but it's just too long, and I think we've covered Caleb Hammer enough. Maybe on another stream if you guys are interested, but I think in terms of the Papa Gut stuff, there's just not too much to talk about. Maybe we can watch a regular episode of Caleb Hammer's stuff to get like a better view of what he usually is like in one of these episodes. I'll find like a decent one that a lot of people request maybe. But for now, I think that's pretty much it, Caleb Hammer wise.